Thomas, aka known to the community in SafeMoon as Papa. We're gonna go ahead and get right to it and just talk about it, and that's really it. Don't think this is like Hell in the Cell, no holds barred type of thing. We're not having that. Somebody tweeted to me, or actually DM me, said, "You're just gonna ask Thomas the soft questions." I don't even know what that means. I'm just gonna ask Thomas questions. Period. I'm not trying to back him to a corner and have him say something to go ahead and get ratings or some shit. One minute. I have a DM already. Ask him how soft his mattress is. You guys are crazy. And how he likes his mashed potatoes. You guys are crazy. Thomas, how soft is your mattress and how do you like your mashed potatoes?
What? Mashed potatoes?
Yeah, some guy. I'm getting trolled because I said like I'm not gonna back you into some corner and turn this into some Barbara Walters special where she pulls out these scripts like, tell me about this now.
What's weird is that I've gone with transparency for so long that you could come out with you could have some. It wouldn't matter. Answer the questions
Well,
the same way.
Thomas, I'm straightforward.
Yeah, I know that.
100%.
I
Like if
value
you
that.
listen to my podcast, even when I've had a lot of good people on the podcast. I've had David Schwartz from XRP. When like he came out of nowhere to come on the podcast and like literally this is like in the beginning where the SEC went ahead and threw the case at Ripple. He comes onto the show and like first of all, like I'm a fanboy. Like I'm like, yo, David Schwartz, he's one of the legends in the space, and no doubt about it. And I'm like fanboying in the beginning, but then I'm asking him questions. But then he's about to go ahead and talk, and I don't want him to say anything that might affect the case at all. So I'm like stopping him. So hopefully, speaking of David Schwartz, hopefully we can get an AMA or back on the podcast when the website Friday goes back up. Friday, new website going back up. We'll go ahead and talk about everything crypto and blockchain and even lifestyle. So Thomas, again, thank you so much for giving me the exclusive, giving G Media the exclusive to go ahead and interview you about obviously leaving SafeMoon. And basically, I'm gonna start it off. Thomas, why did you leave SafeMoon?
All right. So, as John mentioned in his announcement, since September, when I'm sure you guys all saw the screenshots from Charles that said Hank and Papa are leaving for the same reasons. I'll tell you guys a secret. Back then, I was getting 10 death threats a day. So I went to John in a private message, or private call, and said, look, man, I'm done with the death threats. I can't be putting my family at risk like this. There's $1 billion target. I'm protecting $1 billion protocol. My family lives with me. So those were my initial contentions, right? Another person overheard that conversation and it kind of spiraled out of control within the organization. Hank left in this. Hank left the next day, and obviously any organization is going to do what they do, right? For me to leave at that point would have been completely irresponsible. Like, let me tell you guys, like I still had access to everything. I had the contract. Like, I was not going to resign with it. I was not going to, my problems were my problems, and they were separate from everyone else's. It remains to be so.
So you think this all started because of obviously you were receiving, as you stated, death threats. Do you think this okay, somebody said my radio's still loud, so my bad. You think this all started from the death threats, and you
Well,
saying like
initially,
I can't deal with it.
right? So it's one thing to charge forward. It's another to not know if this guy in the community is going to be so. Is he that one crazy person? Like anyone who builds a large community is going to understand. You're going to have
Yeah,
someone that will do that thing, right? And I had
for sure.
dozens and dozens, right? That was out of control, right? I was able to look at this objectively. John and I had our discussions about this, and we ramped up the security. I bought more guns. We were a lot more careful, right? We wanted to protect ourselves and the people who worked for the organization as best we could. In a lot of cases, you have these situations where that's not possible, period. End of story. It is what it is, right? Can't be doing.
Yeah.
So we had to find another way to protect the contract. So early on, I had suggested, hey, once we kick off our finance departments and everything else, let's transfer the contract over to them. I'll train them, all that, right? So my leaving just the other day, or not, I didn't even like calling it leaving, right? But um, my decision to go the other day was because I felt comfortable. And something that I've said in almost every speaking engagement leading up to this point, I said, be prepared for the day where I'm not the CBO, just like I wasn't the CTO. It doesn't change my attitude at all, right? I can still be
This
here.
was
I can build things. We can progress, but at the end of the day, it's about safety. It's about doing, what's right. How can I preserve what it is that I know and kind of get that out there, right? So in a lot of ways, it has to do with that safety in that event earlier. I wanted to clear that up first of all, because Charles and I have had pretty close discussions. Like we met up from Miami not too long ago. Like I don't understand how people could think that I had resigned previously. Like we talked that one through, John and I, and everything was good.
yeah.
And even now, everything is good between he and I. But the reason that
So
I decided to
your
leave,
relationship with John is good.
yeah, we're good. Like we
Okay.
still text. It's fine. Like I'm not gonna just burn this and walk away. I could, I'm not going to do that. So John and I are still cool. Um,
How'd you feel about Hank leaving?
um,
That
that was
when that whole situation happened in
that was a
Ghost.
tragic situation. Look, I maintain Hank as my friend, and I want to look out for him and all this, right? People say people people say stuff, right? And that's fine. Hank and I have spoken about it privately. How I feel about him today. He's my friend. Look out for him.
Do you think he just okay, friendship aside, do you think he's made a mistake?
With SafeMoon or what?
Uh, I guess a combination of what he's done
No,
before
I
the
mean
exit.
maybe like sure, like you're gonna have passionate nights where you're feeling a certain way because you're not paid. That's one thing, right?
Yeah.
Um, it's entirely another to actually push this wallet. Like I can stick up for Hank right now. I saw the whole thing go down. Hank provided the code and means he stayed up all night, many, many, many days. Don't ever fuck around. Like, Hank put in the effort in a way that I've not seen other people do. Right? It came to a head, and I understand that drama's drama. People are going to leave, people can resign. That's okay. Everyone's got that choice. That's their freedom to do. But at the end of the day, like looking back on it, having the discussions, repairing relationships, stuff like that, Hank and I are good. We're buddies.
A big thing was people were saying that the upper management in SafeMoon haven't worked on SafeMoon
What?
when claiming they were working on SafeMoon.
That's not true. Or do you mean like
Yeah, it's just
people?
this is not factual. It's just
This
this
is
is all,
all,
you know. Oh, sorry. That sounded like a modem
Oh,
from
sorry.
AOL modem, but
Someone called me.
uh,
I'm gonna put my shit on. Don't disturb.
that's it. It's all good. Um, I'm asking you this so you can clear it from your
Sure.
end because they're like, there's rumors going around, and that's all it is around. Crypto Twitter is always rumors that you and John really just for the last 6 to 7 months were just sitting back and not doing anything. obviously, like, I talk to you, so I
No,
don't
that's
believe
okay.
that shit. But like, obviously, I'ma say it and I'm allow you to address it.
And I'm not sure if any person here, and if you have done this before, like, good on you. But risk assessment with $1 billion smart contract that had, from where it came to what we built it into, right? Um, us not working on it is asinine. There's a reason why I know all of the edge cases of the contract. There are things that I know that people have never brought up, but that's part of you too, right? So, God no, like, every day is packed with deliberation. I've got my own team here. Every like each person, like the upper management, has their own like personal teams. Um, no, it's ludicrous. Like, if you're gonna say that people didn't work on SafeMoon, look at what SafeMoon is. You're gonna try to tell me we didn't work on that? We didn't foster this? Like, we didn't understand the multiplicative value of our community and the extreme engagement, right? It's insane to think that we didn't work on it. Fuck that.
Um, I'm gonna read you something.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and this came, I guess, I think this is from today, and it says you have Mrs. Mentally Alpha. She states, "I would highly not to take uh Thomas as financial advice. Do your research before." And John stated, "Always do your research. This is anything in life, even boot shopping."
Yeah, that makes sense. What? Yeah, always due diligence. Like,
I
like,
mean, I
don't trust me at all. In fact, double check, right? Don't trust, verify. This is blockchain. Like, think about the industry that
and
we're in, operating with anything other than positive. Like, if I were to do something stupid, everyone would know. It's on the blockchain. It's right there. Yeah.
it's funny. It's funny how, and I'll say this. It's funny how I was reading the messages today.
Yeah.
Um, in regards to you resigning for the last 2 days, And by the way, you resigned.
Yes.
Let's hold on.
But
You resigned. You stepped away. It wasn't John. John didn't fire you. Nobody fired you. You left.
do you want to know what one of the way that I ended my message to him was, "It's time." I said those words to him. It's time, right? We passed off all the work.
Yeah.
I felt comfortable. I resigned amicably. It was perfect. John, like, honestly, John was a little upset about it because we're friends. But it is what it is. The team can move on without me. I've got a lot of stuff that I've got to worry about, and I cannot drag you guys through that. Like, I've got some health issues. That's no secret, right? I need to resolve
Yeah.
that. But I also need to make
And
sure that
how
the
is it,
team can.
Thomas? How is it? How is your health? How is your health,
I
by the
don't
way?
know. I'm not going to know until the end of this month. Um,
Well,
yeah,
I hope it. I listen.
I'm trying to, like,
I
that
hope.
one. That's one thing I'm going to stay pretty vague about. It's
Yeah,
not
you don't have to.
terminal, right? This is avoidable. I just need to focus.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good to hear. At least. Um, Look, I can speak on. I know kind of like what it is to be in the niche spotlight. I guess I stay humble when I say that because um, I know what it's like where like one day you have this circle and then all of a sudden like people start talking shit about you. And when I was reading the comments for the last 2 days, you know, you had people super super fans of yours, right? And then you read the comments and they start stating we don't need Thomas anyway. Um, uh, Thomas didn't deliver. It's shit like that. Have you read any of these tweets? And if you did, does that shit bother you?
Um, yeah, it does. I mean, just on a fundamental level, right? You have all that support. And I understand their position, and a lot of people cannot help but to fall into a bad way, or people are going to cope differently. I try not to hold what people say against them. There's a select few that I'm going to start talking shit to, like fuck you, fudders. But there are a lot of supporters out there that I feel like may have been misled. But at the end of the day, I'm going to help them anyway, so I don't need their permission to help them. So that sucks. Like, I don't like that stuff. I had people like in my DMs on Discord, which I rarely check because there's so many. It's like I had people sending me suggestions up to a few days ago, like you said, and then all of a sudden I'm a rat and all this other weird stuff. Like,
The
guys,
same people that supported you are now calling
yeah,
you a rat, correct?
it's a very small amount of people.
Okay.
It's like
But
under 100 people.
it could be the smallest. Where I'm getting at is it could be the smallest circle, but it's the circle that you actually know.
Well,
Like,
no,
can you
I
name?
don't
Can you?
actually know a lot of the people that are saying these
Okay,
things.
then that's actually good. And
Yeah,
fuck 'em.
it's not terrible, right? But in a way, I feel like I understand that they had trust with me, right? And they feel betrayed because I left. But now I'm able to explain the context of my leaving and that everything's fine. Everything's progressing. So I hope people can kind of take solace in that. I'm supporting on the outside. Someone said to me, what's going on? All this stuff. And I ended up telling him, this is like a random person. Like I just told him, like, look, now more than ever is the time to be excited. I'm gonna start making products that support SafeMoon from the outside. If you wanted use cases, you have them. Like, of all the people that was going to build something that could support SafeMoon from the outside, would you not want the best person in the world to do that? And to a degree, I would understand the argument that why don't you just work on the blockchain? Well, the parts that have been passed off could be built from anyone. Or well,
Here,
anyone who's knowledgeable in the space can code.
but if they needed you and they called upon you, you're there, right?
Of course,
Like if
yeah,
they,
I'm here. And look, and now they don't need to pay me to do it.
so bringing up the pay thing, uh, rumors, rumors,
Sure. Yeah,
and obviously I want you to address this because
yeah,
I feel like in this fucking space and in this fucking era, we're not allowed to address anything. We're like guilty until proven innocent. Like
weirdly
it should
enough,
be
yeah.
obvious. Yeah, I'm telling you, like it should be the other way around, but like guilty until you're proven innocent, especially on fucking social media, which is a crock of shit. But um and like my biggest pet peeve is that number one, you're not allowed to grow. So for instance, if you're building a project, if you don't
Mm-hmm.
deliver, then you're a fucking scammer. You don't know what you're doing. The shit's going to rug pull. Like everything comes out. Every but if this was a centralized pr- company, if it's a centralized company like Microsoft, Google, Tesla, whatever, you're gonna get plenty of time to go ahead and let's say with Tesla, build that electric car. You're gonna have plenty of time if you're Google to build out the search engine and any other products that you're building.
Mm-hmm.
In this space, it is instant gratification, and if you miss it by a day, you are a fucking con artist, a scammer. Anything that they
Yeah.
can go ahead and throw at you, they will. So I'm gonna ask
People that,
this. This
yeah.
is from your. This is from the loyal SafeMoon people, and this goes, David. Can you ask this question? Hank said on an audio that he has been released for a while, that Thomas has a minor role in SafeMoon, disclosing that Thomas has only worked 15 hours a week. Many are under the impression that Thomas has accumulated hundreds of thousands of dollars for very minimum labor. What would you say to that, Thomas?
I disagree. All right, so there was a short period of time where it was right when I stepped away. Like, so I transitioned from CTO to the chief blockchain officer, right? And for those 2 weeks, something happened inside my family where my stepfather had a heart attack, right? He needed a quad bypass, that sort of thing. And I went to John and I said, hey, look, I can't deal with I can't deal with the scaling the website, the servers, the DNS, the most of the technology side. But I will continue on the blockchain. Right? We looked around the space. We wanted an app description for what it was that I was going to do on C level. I was the chief blockchain officer. For those 2 weeks, I was working 15 hours a day. Or sorry, 15 hours a whatever pay period. It's 2 weeks. Shortly thereafter, like just kind of spinning up Hank up in the CTO and everything else. We had some other deals that popped off. I ended up. So what's weird is that even though I transitioned into the CBO role, that still encompasses everything blockchain, which happens to be most of the business. So me scaling back on the technology side and allowing Hank to come up and take care of that so that I could free up my time was a godsend, especially with the family emergency. So, that ended. I ended up working a lot afterwards.
So basically,
So yeah, Hank was right at the time. Like at that, for those 2 weeks, definitely 15 hours. But
so
afterwards,
basically, so hold on. So being that the question was asked, basically you're basically who, and I forgot who asked that question, but so essentially you're going to begrudge Thomas for taking 2 weeks off to take care of personal matters. So he should have got paid nothing, because in the real world, if you take off and you have a really good job in corporate, like you're paid and you get leave. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
so I don't. Okay, I guess. Um, by
So
the
a
way,
lot
I
of
want to
people
ask
like.
this.
So
Yeah, go
there
ahead,
are things
Thomas. Go
that we
go.
couldn't. There are just simply things while I was there that I could not explain. Now that I'm not there, like obviously things that are going on now, forward-looking things that I know about that are being worked on, I can't talk. Just is
What
what
was
it is, right?
Sean?
But some other like the details with regard to me, that's okay.
Was Sean paid by SafeMoon?
Who?
Sean, give me
Rich
one
Real.
second.
Oh,
Was Sean
I don't know.
ever affiliated with SafeMoon, and was he
For
paid?
a time, I think he was a moderator, right? At one point, I don't know.
I don't know. That's why I mean
I've
I asked
spoken to him
you,
a few times, but I've never had any kind of. I have no idea.
so you don't know. Okay.
No.
Let me ask you this question: do you wish? And this is not a shot at SafeMoon, but I can ask you these questions because I know you'll be real about them.
Mm-hmm.
And the other day I said something which got on somebody's nerves, which was I said when I was trying to get in contact with SafeMoon in the beginning, because I
Oh,
like to ask questions. Like when I invest into something, I want to know what I'm investing into. And I
right.
think if you're, if you have any common sense, you would roll the same way. You want to make sure that
Mm-hmm.
you're investing into something. We know this, it's a gamble on anything, whether it's centralized or decentralized. Everything's a gamble, right? Going to a casino, it's a gamble. But at the end of the day, like I want to do my research and I want to talk to the team. And what I said was, when I try to talk to everybody else, there was a PR person or a security guard that stopped me from interacting with people. With you, there was no PR guy or security guards blocking me from having a conversation with you. You came out and you said, when you're ready to, you did this on my Twitter feed. You said, when you're ready to talk, I'm available.
Yeah.
It's exactly what everybody else.
Yeah, I can explain that.
I had to make a business appointment. I'm nobody special. I'm just, I'm just saying. But at the end of the day, I wanted to personally know what the fuck is SafeMoon? What is it about? Why should I go into it? It was something so new because 11%, like I got to go in, pay 11%, and then 11, all these taxes. Like I was closed.
Right, the taxes.
Thomas, I grew up in the old school crypto punk era where there was no taxes. We were running away from taxes. We were running away from any fees. So when I saw SafeMoon, it was more like, I don't understand why are we charging fees, and people were getting mad at me not understanding that I didn't just join in 2021, and I'm not disrespecting anybody that just joined. All I'm saying is I'm cut from a different era in
It was,
crypto.
yeah, it's a
You
different
get
time
it, Tom?
when we
Like
started. I
you
was
you've
there
been
too.
in you've been in it. for a
Yeah.
long time, so you understand what I'm saying. Like, I
Dude,
just wanted
I
that question
watched with
answered.
bated breath the outcome of the big block debate. I was there.
But do you feel like, th- let me ask you this question. Do you feel like you would have stayed on, and this is not a shot at SafeMoon, but do you think you would have stayed on if management was a little bit more experienced, or if there was more experience in management with SafeMoon?
No,
Because you don't think you would have
I
stayed
don't.
on.
I don't think. I don't think so. And this is not against John, right? It's John and I are friends. Everything's fine there. When SafeMoon started, and we covered this a few times at our early AMAs. I think I feel like there are three separate things that I should address here with
Go ahead.
what you were asking. Um, that when things started, right? And this is the perfect example of an MVP project going like the transition from MVP to enterprise, where you can make a product that's number 2 on Google Play, right next to Coinbase. Who's going to be Coinbase, right? So would I have left anyway? Yes, it wouldn't have mattered if we had. So that I previously worked with gigantic people in whatever industry. So gaming specifically. So back in 2018, so play we had John Gill, former VP of Sega Canada. Huge fangirl moment for me, but I still left that organization anyway. At the end of the day, it's how are you feeling? Are you in a good place? Are you going to be able to perform, right? Do whatever you can to do to improve maintainability, right? So there's that. Would I have left anyway? Yeah, I think so. Just bunch of factors in my life, that sort of thing, doing other stuff. A desire to help, right? I feel motivated. So I passed off everything. With regard to the other topics there, why would I talk to you when the others wouldn't? And we had a PR team. I told you guys from the beginning, I'm the guy that shows up to the meeting, the $100 million meeting in a hoodie. And I will explain to you the stack. Because for me, the value comes from the information. I could do what I do without my name. I don't need it. But I'm happy to have it, right? Because it helps me do more. So I've always butted heads with the PR department. It took me it took me quite a while to actually grow to the idea that the media cycle is important. That's a growth, right? John talks about it a lot. It's an evolution. Yeah. So it's it just doesn't. It's not compatible with me as a person fundamentally to just not say how I feel or behave like myself. Right? I can't do it. So
Thomas,
when in the early days when you were reaching out and all this stuff, it's like a lot of people were reaching out, and at a certain point it got to where whatever. But between you, me, the water cooler, and everybody in the space, Ken Bozak pulled me aside and told me about you, and I drew a lot of respect out of that conversation. So I wanted to reach out. I wanted to get to know you. So and then also I was a former hack whale. So
shout out to Ken Bozak. Love Ken Bozak.
yeah, that
Does a
guy.
lot for the space.
These are really.
He doesn't get the credit that he deserves. The man is you want to talk about NFTs. The man was talking about NFTs way before any of your favorite celebrities on crypto Twitter, wherever, even mentioning it. So shout out to him. Much respect to him. I love that. I love that guy. Thomas, the big question that's really coming in, and I had it on my mind anyway, is the blockchain finished?
So that's kind of leading into one of those things that I definitely can't talk about. What I can say is that mechanics are always, even after it's released, are always going to be under discussion. That's the biggest part, right? So even with regard to the V2, right, the risks need to be assessed before you release anything. And it's kind of like the Blizzard thing before Blizzard went sour, right? Was you want to release a really nice product. You want to make sure that you, one, give yourself enough time to do it, and 2, overcome whatever obstacle you have in between you and your goal. So is the blockchain finished? Definitely can't answer that question. From a software side, from a deliberation side, I can tell you that while things may be, I don't even know how to answer that one.
It's fine. I'm sure.
Yeah,
What is it still
I shouldn't
still
go
under
there.
NDA?
Everyone's asking if the blockchain's done.
What's the life
I'm
changing call? What was the hold on. What's the call that changed the hold on? Can we ask about the call that changed the
yeah,
world? What's that all about?
call it change the world, right? So for a period of time since I was in Puerto Rico is huge for crypto. Oh my god! And then also for financial services, right? Uh, there was a chain of events that continued from my visit in Puerto Rico. People are going to find out there are a few billion-dollar organizations that I've been speaking with uh, that they, they want to do things for legacy. It's not about money anymore. They make all of the money from thin air, right? It's like drawing blood from a rock, and they're just the leading experts in it. And this is so the call that will change the world. Um, it's it's hard to say what it's to do with SafeMoon externally. It's to do with all of DeFi externally. There's an opportunity with one of the largest chip suppliers on the planet to do something exceptional with regard to both Bitcoin mining and DeFi. This is the largest thing that'll ever happen or has ever happened in DeFi, period. The math is astounding. It's an amalgam of the best people that I've ever met. um, and this is it's something for legacy. We are about to change the game. Everyone who's involved in DeFi now is in for a surprise. Very welcome one. Yeah, I think that's probably all I should say.
You know, I'm getting a lot of DMs, and people are like, there's some people like, ask him the hard questions, guys. Like, this is not a
Yeah,
fucking
ask me a hard
interrogation.
question.
I will
That's
ask him
okay
hard
too.
questions. I just want to
Sure.
ask. I'm trying to ask my questions, and I'm trying to, filter in one or two from the crowd that, some of these DMs that are actually normal and not like, to create fucking controversy. Like
Oh yeah,
that's not
isn't
what
that
this
weird,
space
right?
needs.
Yeah, if
Uh,
people trying to create controversy for clout. That's another thing, right? It's
yeah.
what they don't realize is some of us are up here. We've been doing this for 12 or 11 years or less because it means something, right? Fuck the money. The money is the side effect, right? That's what happens when you work in fintech or any other money job, right? That's something that
Listen,
happens.
I got G Media. I'm also the CEO of Pack Protocol.
Of course.
I'm a brand specialist, brand consultant, excuse me, for Everrise. Shout out to Everrise, they're in the room. Like I get shit all the time. Listen, the 95% love you. It's the 5% that are the loudest.
Right, and
Like
it only takes 20 coordinated people to fud a project into the floor.
that's 100%. That
Only 20.
Let
Yeah.
me ask you this question that comes from the crowd. Sergeant SafeMoon, I'll go ahead and name you. What is his relationship with Rushtick, and why does he keep creating FUD and sending messages like this one I just posted? Rushtick posted 37 minutes ago um, the owl sign with a picture of buildings with the probably a sunrise or sunset. I don't know, and it has one where he's quoting you where it says that the time is now, um, and there's the YouTube video.
Okay. Yeah. So I posted the time is now as kind of that's my everybody else did an announcement and I really wanted to take some time to think about what I wanted to do for that. Rushtick and I have known each other for many years, like 2016, 2015, something like that. We met on Facebook. Facebook has a set of OG groups. That's where I met Ken. You know, I was pretty big over there. And yeah, he and I both moderated and admin different Facebook groups for different things. We've been networking since Bitcoin got that huge boost in 2017. That was it was ICO headlines back then, right? Especially for projects that were legit to try to provide some value. There are very few of them left now. So the ICO model is dead and broken. Went off to SDOs and everything else like that. Rushtick and I watch that together. So he and I go way back. So if you ever see he and I like talk, whatever, he's got connections. I've got connections too. He and I both together, like I don't really know what people are saying, and I don't particularly care. He's a good guy, means well.
So you're friends with Rushtick,
of course, yeah.
Rushtick or whatever his name is. Yep. Sorry, my bad. I don't know. Is it Rushtick?
You guys will find this about me.
Rushtick, I think.
Rushtick? Okay.
Yeah, Rushtick.
Call him Ross.
Thomas, can I ask a question if that's all right?
Yeah, sure.
So I hate to kind of, rewind the wheel here, but so you leaving SafeMoon, right? So was that kind of an overnight process, or were you kind of pondering upon it for the past, X amount weekdays?
It wasn't an overnight thing, right? It took a while for me to feel like I was getting closer to being comfortable with this, right? And months ago I said, no, I'm not leaving, right? Because at that time, that was not what was going on, right? And I'm still not leaving. I feel the same way, right? Leaving, I feel like, is a bad word to me. The same way that, dollar value is a bad word to anyone working on a crypto project. So I think, no, it's been a while. Like I know about myself, right? So
now
I don't want to stagnate. I think too much. Things are too crazy, right? So a lot of factors went into it. In the end, it's nothing against SafeMoon or nothing against the work. My experience there was good. This was my decision. I felt like it was time. I was ready to pass it on, right? Move on to something else that helps out the space like this. I want to continue to bump up against. I come from a heavy R&D background, right? I'm used to every other week bumping up against an impossible problem and trying to solve that. So for me, working on the same thing forever feels weird, right? It's just, and forever is not, this is crypto, guys. Like, and a lot of people did point this out. It's like a lot of solutions-oriented people. We get in, we bang out that solution, and we get out, right? It's not on anyone. It's because I need more problems. This is how people in my space play Sudoku, right? This is how we play chess. This is our what we love to do, right? So a lot of factors, health, wanting to help out the space in a different way, wanting to help you guys from the community side. I've always been envious of people in communities, right? And the reason why I separate myself from that is there are things that I can't tell you, right? People speculating inside of the community can share their ideas as they have, right? And it's not like you're not arrested for it. So, like, I would like to be able to share ideas with you guys, and the different edge cases that I discover within RFI, like the Heaven's Gate code, what happened, like the history behind B, all this other crazy stuff. Nobody's really digging into. So that stuff is really what keeps me doing what I do, and ever since I've been in technology, like since I was a teenager, right, getting into little communities, things like that. It's whoever's willing to put that extra step forward. You'll find that it's easy to become a moderator, and it's even easier to become an administrator. So since I was a teenager, I was managing large communities and things like that. That's how I met Trevor. Trevor and I met inside, at the time, what was the largest League of Legends community on the planet. We were both, admins, mods, like all the whole way up, right? So for me, I've been from this perspective where, you know, I'm not in the community in a way. What I want to do is my next steps, like positioning myself so that I can participate with you guys on a very high level, in a way that I can give you information now, my thoughts, without having to keep them to myself. Right? That's valuable to me.
I want to ask you this: do you think that SafeMoon will ever get back to, or ever have that height that it had in the beginning?
Oh, back in April.
Yeah. Do you ever see it going back to?
It could.
Like go back. Let's go back when it bursted onto the scene. It was in every newspaper possible, every article. SafeMoon Army, crazy. I'm talking about all over social media. And now obviously it's cooled down. Let's call that as it is. SafeMoon Army's out there, but I remember when SafeMoon first came out, it was nonstop SafeMoon. It was trending every single day on Twitter.
Right.
Do you
community? Oh man, this is the best grassroots movement in tokens ever.
But do you see it ever getting back to that? Like
yeah,
V2,
of course.
does V2 and your replacement, which I don't, it's funny, like how do you, okay, your replacement, whoever that is, do you see them taking that to maybe even to the next level, even more so, more fierce than when V1 came out?
So what I did was make sure that the management had everything, right? So I'm going to be clear about that. You can hire.
What do you mean?
This is about.
Did
this
you
is about
hire
software
somebody
development.
that was Tom?
No, it's not about a protege. There's no protege here.
No. No, what I'm saying is, did you hire somebody, okay, I'm going to say it. Did you hire somebody that is as good or is better than you at your current position?
Did I do that? No.
Or did they?
Did they? I couldn't tell you.
Can this person fill your shoes?
All right. So I think a lot of people could fill my shoes. I think that Ryan is a great project manager, and he hires effectively, very effectively. So what we did was we fostered an environment of knowledge. So the project managers became knowledgeable on my level, where they could understand things, relay the ideas, such that any of the tasks that any of the devs had, simple tasks, things that they could do, things that, it's the compact method, right? You compartmentalize each piece of the hardware such that you have specialists in each area. And the outcome is the sum of the effort, right? So to a degree, the devs, I'm sure they have no idea what they're working on. But Ryan, John, Charles, the other guys, they have the fullest, cleanest understanding and knowledge of what they need to do. At least
but they're not code. That they don't know how to code. You do.
They don't need to. So you can find any kind of other disaster specialist or awesome coder out there. You can definitely do that.
But they don't stack up to you. Like I get it. Like you can find somebody, doesn't mean that they're good.
Well, there are definitely better engineers than me out there. Like
you're humble.
I'm a yeah, man. It's uncomfortable talking about things that I don't know about, just because I don't want to mislead you guys. So I made sure that those guys understood everything. That's everything. From there, it's super easy to delegate and hire for them. So whatever it is that there's left for them to do, which I don't want to speak on because that's a thing.
Gotcha.
I am comfortable and confident they can take it. They can definitely take it from here.
Thomas,
awesome coders in the crowd, go apply at SafeMoon right now. Right now.
Thomas, did the departure of Jack and Hank influence your decision in leaving?
No. In fact, I tried to do it first.
Okay.
I worry that I influenced them. It wasn't, and it's like because everybody hears about everything that happens internally, right?
Correct.
So when I was bringing this up with the death threats and everything else, everybody's going to have their own reason. I can speak on mine. I tried to do it first. I was like, look, guys, this is an unacceptable situation for me. And I went to John about it, right? And the only reason why you guys are hearing about this today is because we had leaks within the organization, right? I have to address it because they're not going to. I would not expect them to address this. And, Godspeed to them.
Thomas, did it put a strain on your guys' relationship? The death threats and things that were happening outside with the public that were influencing the team directly. Did it put a strain on anything?
No, it didn't put a strain on my relationship with the other guys because it's not their fault. I don't even think the people who are issuing these death threats fully understand why they're issuing the death threat in the first place. So, like, sad.
That mentally that fucks with you. There's no doubt about it. You can't. I don't even know. Like, you get that shit, and like, I don't even know how you're working.
Well, that's the weird thing, right? You just have to keep going anyway. I would be bad at anything.
Who is Kyle Nagy? I guess this is a question coming from the SafeMoon community. Is he SafeMoon's dev?
Put me on the spot, are you? Man,
this is Gokhshtein Unfiltered, man. This is what.
All right,
obviously
no, I can respect that.
We went through the AMA, so like obviously we're on
this
spaces.
Is more of
you can pass. You can plead the fifth.
And not to crack a joke, right? But this is more of a reflection on people who can't handle something, right?
Yeah.
Look, he's already been doxxed, guys. He effectuated this whole thing. Try to have some appreciation. Let the man live. He didn't try to hurt anybody. This is such a it's a weird spot for me. And this is not against you for asking that question, right? Because it had to be addressed at some point, right?
Yeah.
But look, leave a guy alone, right? He made fucking thousands of you billionaires or millionaires, whatever. However much money you made, that all of the good that happened, he's directly responsible for. I got utmost respect for this guy. He's a good man.
Why is he hated? I honestly, it's an honest question. I honestly, with no disrespect, I don't know this man.
If he's hated, it's a joke. He's never done anything wrong. Anything contrary to that story, what I just told you, he didn't do anything wrong. Yeah. Got the receipts. It's fine. Let him live his life. He made this happen.
This is something that you can go ahead and plead the fifth on, but it's a question being asked. Like I got like 40 DMs on this one. Do you still hold SafeMoon? And if you do, are you planning to sell it, or are you going to hold it?
All right. So all of the SafeMoon that I have left, community sent me previously. The last time I talked about it, it's like forever ago. At one point on Discord, some like all of Papa discussion like begged me to make a address. I made the address, and I think I was sent at the time like something like $500 in SafeMoon. It's still there. I'm kind of keep that as like a reminder and stuff, but that's all the SafeMoon I have, guys. And if there's anything in my wallet right now, I'm not even looking. I don't care. Because that's the thing, right? I've always said that if someone, like before, up to that point, when I realized, hey, I could just kind of keep this as kind of a thank you, or like a, just a reminder, a memento of, what's going on at the time. So it means a lot to me that I have it. I'm not going to sell that. It's kind of like my own NFT, right? These are fungible tokens that have been made non-fungible because they were sent to me. Otherwise, like, no, I don't have it.
So you don't have a secret wallet somewhere that nobody knows about that you're going to go ahead and in the next few weeks slowly offset or maybe hold on
No,
until SafeMoon recovers and then all of a sudden dump on the community?
no, I don't.
Okay.
Like all of my wallets, like and stuff like that, they're all interconnected with the one on OpenSea.
Yeah.
There are some groups out there that went and made a whole bunch of effort and digging into all that stuff, which is kind of hilarious because I offered them the key to all of that information, but they didn't take it.
How do you feel? How do you feel about though that YouTube? There's a YouTube channel that is literally like breaking down SafeMoon's dev wallet.
What is it? No,
First
time I'm hearing about it.
So Thomas, I'm getting DMs about that as well. So to my extent, to my knowledge, I haven't seen it or anything. Just a disclaimer, but people are telling me that there's movement apparently in the dev wallets, and they've tracked all the movements. To that extent, I don't know.
Right, and you know what's weird from what you just said? That sounds so scary, right? God forbid somebody own a wallet and send some money with it. The only reason it's scary is because it's tagged, right? And one thing or another, right? But there's no fundamental scariness behind that. But regardless, I can tell you with certainty that the original contract owner was SafeMoon Dev, of course. And then he transferred the owner over to me, and I had it for a period of time until, you know the story there, why I gave it up. Billion dollar target on my kid's back. Like I couldn't have that anymore. So I give it back to John. And let me set this straight for anyone who doesn't know. If you're on the outside and you think that you effectuated that situation, I brought this up weeks before you were a problem. This was already planned. So I gave that shit over of my own volition. I was happy to do so. And then any movements while I had it was completely approved by the board. So anyone can come and ask me. Anyone can come and look at my own private stuff. FBI, anyone else, invite you over. I don't give a shit. That's the thing, right? People want to say that I stole LP. You fuck yourself. So I invite anyone over. We got paid. So that's how I feel about that.
We love the honesty, Thomas.
I appreciate that.
Raw and uncut. Yeah.
First of all, I'm gonna say, because there's a few people that are like, I don't like the way you're asking your questions. They're very negative. First of all, they're not negative. Questions are questions. They're not negative. Especially
people want to know.
These are questions that are being asked by your own community. There's nothing negative about it. If you don't ask questions, if we're going to sit here and just hold hands and sing Kumbaya, this is not an interview. There are exactly, and we're going to talk about DeFi too, because we talked about DeFi on, when we were together on that show, and like, if we don't ask these questions, there's tons of people. There's my whole DM, my DM is literally, the box is flooded with questions that people want to hear you answer. Like, you guys need to honestly, you know what happens in this space? We attach ourselves to a particular asset and we put blinders on, and any questions asked is automatically deemed as FUD or negative. They're not. It's a simple question. Nobody's, like I said, trust me, there can be people that sit down with Thomas and interview him and ask him stupid fucking questions and make it super, super negative. This is unfiltered, and I promise you, I'm trying to get answers and not make fucking ratings. If I wanted ratings, I'd ask them super questions. Now, I just wanted to get that out the way. Thomas.
Yeah.
I had a question for you.
Of course.
Before somebody wanted to go ahead and state something. Give me 1 second. By the way, Bugsy says hello. He says you'll laugh if I say.
All right. So let me tell you guys the story about Bugsy. A bunch of spaces. He's come up and he's like, I've known Thomas since we were kids. And everyone's super skeptical about it. Like, I just want to put this on the table. No, man. You really did. I know that guy.
Thomas, he did that on our space too. Remember, RMA a couple months back, he did the same thing. Remember?
Exactly. Yep. Yes, and he had every right to do so because it was the truth. I'm not going to put his name out there because I respect him a whole lot. I love him. You know. Also, bro, I hope you come visit me soon. White Mountains miss you. Anyway, sorry.
Thomas, where do you see DeFi going in the next 5 years?
Up.
Clarify that for me.
Adoption, more people, more volume. DeFi is going up. It's simple mathematics, right? Couldn't say that SafeMoon, but I can tell you now. Certainty. It happened with Bitcoin. It happened with every market in history, even tulips, right? You have more participants, you have more volume. You don't necessarily have more long-term holders. Those are your diamond-handed people that have been through all of these market cycles. It's so wild, right? Not financial advice, guys, but of course. It's just a little history. But where do I see it going? We will have more projects. You're going to see more charity. You're going to see way more space. I think that's going to be huge. Just because Elon, there's nothing wrong with that, honestly. Like, if it's one dude, if it's a meme that gets us into space, that effectuates permanence, that's all that matters. Like, it would be a meme that does it, though, right? That's the cruel irony that is fate.
No, Thomas. Now, where do you see yourself within the next 5 years? Do you have any plans after SafeMoon? I'm sure you do. And if you want to, tell the people right now, we have a pretty big room. The mic is all yours, man.
You stole my question, you son of a bitch.
I
was actually going to ask him if he sees himself, if Thomas sees himself creating his own project, DeFi based.
Oh, if I was going to have my own thing, right? So, of course, I'm going to be consulting, right? That's what I do anyway. I really love a variety of problems. DeFi is
and I don't mean to cut you off. When you say consulting, that goes for multiple
it does. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
It does. Sorry. Because the recipe is the same. Yeah, it's marketing. It's fundamental knowledge of the systems that we use to market, the people that are behind them, the psychology that's there. I feel like this is of value to everyone. I would not restrict this to just one.
Somebody's asking me to ask you this question, and that is, what happened to KuCoin and Gemini, and why was it pulled from SafeMoon's site?
Wait, what? KuCoin and Gemini were pulled from?
At some point, and there's screenshots being sent to me, there was it was listed as Gemini and KuCoin soon to come.
Do you know how long ago that happened? Okay. So like with some kind of like...
It was like the end of a video where they had it, and it got removed.
KuCoin and Gemini I don't remember anything about any conversations with them. This is not to say that, the other guys, so I was not in every Telegram channel, right? So I have no idea what's up with that. And also, after a certain point, I had nothing to do with the website. So at that point, if it's not part of my focus, I don't even look at it. If somehow it falls into my focus, if it hadn't been handled yet, I do what I do on the back end and make sure they're sleeping or not.
Thomas, you once said we would be looking at ourselves in the mirror being happy as fuck. How do you feel about
that? I'm bullish on that. I'm so bullish on that. Right? It's 5 years from now. What are you doing? Consider this. How many days, how many hundreds of days? 365 times 5. Right? It's over 1,000. If you don't progress on your goals and make it by then, I can't have helped you with what I said. This is not a. It's not a reflection on what SafeMoon is or on what any one project is. It's a self-improvement, right? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? And if it's not looking in the mirror, looking happy as fuck, what are you doing? If not every single move that you take is a winning move, it's a losing move. Don't take any losing moves. Just stop.
Thomas, people are miserable, and that effect comes in. I'm gonna say this, and it's really weird because you look outside
Yeah,
of this space, and like I said earlier, people in general, and give startups time to succeed,
right.
whereas in the crypto space, as
Oh,
I
it's like
said before, you got a minute, you got a fucking minute, and if you
yeah,
don't deliver in
yeah.
a minute,
I would argue that to anyone who's considering starting a project in DeFi or crypto at all, my biggest takeaway is that before you even start marketing, you better have your product done and just production ready.
otherwise you're fucked,
Facts.
because
It's
you're
it's
fucked.
just risk. It's just risk, right? If you introduce any percent of risk to that, the risk will happen. So you have delays. It is a software development 101, right? No matter what you do, there's always some semicolon that takes 2 days to find.
Yeah.
So things happen, right? But then also you encounter absolutely insurmountable odds. Then you overcome them in a day because you found some novel way to do it. So
Okay, here's
it's
some
always
comical relief for you, Thomas, as this
yeah.
person puts it. Tell
So
him PM69 asks why. He will enjoy that.
why what?
I have no fucking clue.
Right. I think he means why the fuck is the price so low compared to tomorrow's price? And I finally have the answer for you. People who are willing to build without permission. You people who are willing to build and push the space to its boundary to figure out what's possible, right? Why is the price so low today compared to tomorrow? It's because we won't fucking stop, right? I might have left SafeMoon. John needs me, got my number. I'm here all the time, and he doesn't have to pay me for my work. That's good for you guys. It's good for everybody. It means that I'm on the outside, and I can build products that accept and use SafeMoon. Actual, real use cases. Other people need to do that shit too. So this is a community effort, right? You've got people who build the tokens, right? This is why there are foundations that invest in businesses that build on Ethereum, that build on Cardano, Bitcoin Cash, Satoshi's vision. Fucking God save Craig Wright. Fuck that guy.
100% agree with you on that.
7 nodes, bud. Like, how's your chain doing?
Exactly.
Anyway, so why is the price so low compared to the next price? It's people like us, me, David, Ken, the people who are in this space, we do this shit because we love it. For no other reason. The rest is the rest. What, we get to pay the bills because we love it? Awesome. Why don't you do that with skydiving or swimming instruction or any other profession that exists? Love what you do. Otherwise, why are you doing it?
Yeah, 100%. I want to ask you this question, Thomas. I'm gonna ask you some uplifting questions because, yeah, I swear, the SafeMoon community. You know what? I love you guys. Like you really, I honestly love you, even though you guys at times
Never liked you,
yeah,
pretty
pretty much,
much.
yeah,
That's what
yeah,
you're meant to
it
say.
is what it is. But I've had this beef. I don't know. It's really not beef with me. I just ask questions, and it annoys the fuck out of the SafeMoon army. I haven't asked or really stated much lately, and at the end of the day, I sat back with SafeMoon, and I said I invested into SafeMoon, so I have SafeMoon. But at the end of the day, in the beginning, trying to find out what is SafeMoon all about, why am I going to pay this percent, and all this stuff, why should I go into SafeMoon? It wasn't being answered. It was constantly You're an asshole. You're spreading FUD. You're fudding. You're not, no, I'm not. A question is not a question. Asking a normal question is not fudding. I want to ask you this question though.
Sure.
Did you ever get to talk to Elon Musk about Starlink?
About Starlink? No.
Did
Not
you
about
even?
Starlink.
So hold on. Did you ever get to talk to him? Forget about. Let's throw
I was,
Starlink right out the fucking window then.
I was in an email chain with Elon at one point. Yeah. It's not a
That's
clue
what's up.
to anything. Look, I know what his email is. That's it.
That's what's up.
I was part of the Doge One thing, and fuck you, Matt Wallace, because you're stupid. Look at my GitHub.
Shout outs to Matt Wallace. Nobody likes
Yeah.
him.
It's like, look, I had an argument with Sporkland before she died, and I felt horrible about it. Like, fuck you, Matt Wallace. And Billy, I donated money to you. You talk shit about me.
What is the beef? What is the like? You know what is the like? You know what I don't. And I say this to Bitcoin maxis as well. Like we had a conversation where they had an opportunity to talk to Mark Cuban, and they try to destroy Mark Cuban, not knowing that Mark Cuban is pretty witty himself. So that didn't really work
you
out.
can't mess with trolls, man.
Yeah, I mean,
He's
like
good
at the
guy.
end of the day, like it's just like we're trying to bring as many people into the space. Listen,
Right,
I was at
infighting doesn't do anything.
I was at fault a little bit because listen, some people were getting on my nerves. I was striking back. I'm from New York City. That's the way I roll. I'm going to go ahead and smack back if somebody smacks at me. But at the end of the day, yes, like you know, I've become more open-minded because I know that we need everybody to be on the same page in order for us to take adoption to the next level. We can't be separated. You know, like it just we can't have wars. SafeMoon versus Dogecoin. That is dumb. Like we
Yeah,
have bigger
absolutely.
issues at hand.
So dumb. We have legislation passing that could end crypto. It's not gonna ban it. It's not gonna, all this stuff they say is like the worst part. It's just that it's going to be impossible, right? So, and this is why I ranted a little bit about Ted Cruz before. Was how is it that Ted Cruz understands that he understands that miners don't have SSNs. Like, where are they going to get the social security numbers to report to begin with? Right? Doesn't make any sense. It's not going to legislation. This is support, right? Make it popular within your local jurisdictions, right? Open it up on the local level. Make it toxic on the national level to mess with, and we will be here. We will be here always, right? Some of us won't care, and we're going to take contracts outside the country. Stuff like that happens, right?
Correct.
But you don't want to push trillions of dollars worth of innovations outside the country. That's foolish. The infrastructure bill is well intentioned, but it's a very large document. Honestly, ride-along bills should be outlawed. Have a bill for every topic. Just one topic, and you can do one for everyone. If you're there, we pay you. Anyway, this is a rant. I'm sure.
And that's fine. That's fine. This is fine. If it was obviously, if I was doing the 1 hour podcast, I would have stopped you. But you know what? You got the SafeMoon, army in here. A lot of people, a lot of people are just interested in hearing, what's on your mind. I'm looking at my DMs. Like, I'm sorry, guys. Like, I got 1,000 DMs in like fucking 25 minutes. Like, all, particularly. Some of them are the same and shit. So, Andrew, if you have a question, go for it because I'm gonna look through. Some of them are repetitive fucking questions. I'm not gonna ask you what do you see SafeMoon and its price on V2 because, I mean, who the fuck knows? Like none of us know.
Oh shit. Yeah, that's one of those things everybody asks, but it's like legit. Like you can't ask anyone who knows. Even the people in the most in the know don't even have no idea what's going to happen next. And that's why it's illegal to talk about. You give a false representation and you're liable for it. So you want to stay as within humanly possible close to what you know of it. It's difficult. It's extremely difficult to keep track.
If Ripple offers you a contract, are you working for Ripple tomorrow?
Oh my God. No. For the same reasons I didn't before. So, all right.
Okay, what about Doge? Working for
Dogecoin?
Be careful.
I don't think that there's an organization like that behind Doge, and if there was, I don't think that I would.
Thomas, do you see yourself sitting anywhere within a project within maybe the next 2 months?
Only one that I create freshly. It's so there is something that I'm working on, and there are several billion, there's one $2 billion organization that I'm talking to, and filling some stuff out with. I'm sure in a few weeks people will find out. And then there's another one that's worth $90 billion that I will also be helping in a fundamental way. But these are established companies, and I'm bringing them closer to DeFi, right? Closer to crypto, closer to what we're doing here. And any of these organizations that I speak to fully encourage the lifestyle, fully encourage us fostering more wizards to grow in space and innovate, do really cool things, truly cool things. Because it's not even about you could have this computer company in your garage and make it big, right? You can have this computer company in your basement, and if it's novel, it will succeed, right? Way of the crowd. I think it's neat stuff. I'm ranting again.
Thomas, since I see Everrise in this moon, I said moon. Somebody's gonna probably take that and say, "Oh my God, I said moon." But since Everrise is here and all about DeFi and they have real utility, unlike some other projects, not saying that about SafeMoon, just to clarify, because people will go ahead and take that out of context. They'll take any fucking words out of context. Could you ever see yourself with Everrise?
Could I see myself just hanging out with Titan? Definitely. Yeah. I could hang out with Titan. But do I see myself joining a specific, I'm not going to join a specific team.
Gotcha. So just freelance.
It's not even freelancing, right? I want to offer my support in a way that's different. I don't want to just join a team and have that be the end all be all, right? Everyone expects me to just join something. That's gatekeeping, right? What I know about marketing, about people, about the token and crypto economics of this. I started out selling gold just like Brock Pierce, right? I was one of his competitors. So for me, I want to share this information. I want to find the most effective way to do it. So do I see myself joining a specific project? What I'm going to say for right now, the way I'm feeling is no. If something happens that's crazy, and it's big, I'll reconsider that. But it needs to be the biggest. We have to change things. Settling for less than that would be settling less for you.
Now, Thomas, is there ever the possibility that you can, join SafeMoon back and not just help from a, third-party standpoint, but more so pen on paper where you're back with the team and John?
Maybe. It could happen. It could totally happen, right? But that's in the future, right? So I'm open to a lot of possibilities.
People are asking me about Rocket B USD. Are you consulting for them?
All right, no. Let me tell you a not so secret about BUSD. That's run by two good friends of mine. I didn't know about it until after it was launched. This is yet another situation where they knew about my story and they're like, shit, we can call Thomas. Let's see what's going on. And quite literally, it's fucking Cole, man. Dude, it's the former senior moderator. I spent a ton of time with him. He's a really great guy. He's a really great guy. And I know the other person who, you know, the other dude. Both of them came down for the first SafeMoon like booth that we had that was like really bare, but really like with the bare booths. If you know, you know. If you have a product and people want to come over, they're gonna get that value. So these two guys, they came out and they were there. They were just right. We really, Hank and I needed that help. We didn't get it. These dudes from the community flew out and just they were there with us the whole time. We got to know them. I've invited Cole out to my house a number of times, like since then, before Rocket even happened. So when Rocket did happen, it had already been launched. Like, let's not fuck around. Like, I'll tell anybody. Like, I did not have anything to do with the start of this project, and I'm not allowing them to pay me. Cole is my friend. Genuinely my friend. I trust him with my kid. That's
Thomas, how'd you meet John?
How did I meet John? Okay, this is a cool story. So I was working at Geometric Energy. We were doing PPE deals. John had another PPE company, and we came together for some stuff. We found out that he was into gaming, and like one thing led to another. And Tano was born out of one of the products. So GEC specializes in R&D, creating companies, all this other cool like IP generation stuff that we did. I really enjoyed my time there. So Tano was born out of that. And that was Trevor, me, Sonia. It was Daniel was there, and John. Mitchell was there too. Probably won't like that I name dropped him, but Mitchell, bro, what happened? Anyway, so I met John through Tano. Basically, that whole deal right there that went down. I provided this really cool like restream competitor kind of thing. We got into some video game stuff, goats and go-karts, and you know, we were progressing with a very interesting contract that all of us were very familiar with. I can't talk about that part, but in the end, one day, SafeMoon Dev called me. He said, I started something because he and I met on the Dogecoin Facebook page. We were just talking about mine. So he called me out of the blue one day and said, hey, you know, I built this community. It's growing extremely fast. Like, I need some help. You know, please build a team. So then I was already working at Tano with John, and I only ever wanted to be a CTO, right? That was my like life goal from a kid. I was like, I love computers. I want to. That is my career path. People ask you, what do you want to be? I made it there, right? A bunch of times. I had a CIO and a blockchain consultancy from years ago, all sort of stuff. So with that, one day he called me, and then I brought it to John. I said, hey, it was John, Trevor, and Hardman I approached. Brought them in. Hardman structured out the server. Trevor's an excellent marketer, but on the community level, right? I've seen him revive dead projects. No, it's crazy shit. Love that man. He's like my best friend. So I brought him in, and John. That's like, if anyone's going to tell you what the start of SafeMoon is, it's not any different from that story, because I was there before anyone who is there now was there.
I'm listening to you, and it sounds like, honestly, you resigning or leaving SafeMoon, like a weight's been lifted off your shoulders. And it's not in a bad way. I just feel like you feel, or you
I
sound
mean, hey, in a way, yeah, sure, definitely. So there are two sides to every coin, right? I'm not saying that for me personally, my side is detrimental to everybody here who's listening. Don't sell based on what I'm telling you the story, because everything's going to be fine. Your investment's good, right? There was no hard man, or any other crazy kind of dip, right? The named dips, the Moby dip, all those dips, right? I even bought the thomasdip.com in case there was one for me, because I was gonna make the fucking t-shirt, right? I was gonna make the actual chip dip. You could eat the dip. All this crazy shit, right? There was no significant dump, and I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud of all of it. So for me, the negative side is a loss of friends, right? I come from a time where you meet hackers on IRC, and when they fall off because they get popped or they do something stupid, maybe they just lose their computer, they lose their access, and nobody trusts their new screen name again, right? I would lose friends, I wouldn't know their names, no way to contact them. That shit, that's fucked up hard. You meet like true movers and shakers on IRC, but you don't get to know what their name is, right? When they fall off, you lose a part of yourself. So for me, these smaller digs, it's just brings it back to that. So when I start a project or we maneuver in business is toxic for the human condition. Money is toxic for that. I'm very against money.
Build it and the money will come, right?
Right, yeah. Build it and they will, yeah. Build it and they will come rocket. Like, it's crazy.
That's funny.
I want to go to Thomas. Are you a fan of taking some questions from the audience? And
yeah, no, look, let's go. Let's
and
go.
I don't say this to the
Let's
audience
bring it
before you
back to
come up here. Do me a favor. Do not ask. Like if there is a stupid question that is asked or anything that like crosses the line, just know that you're getting thrown the fuck off a cliff. No
Getting thrown
parachute.
all the way off.
Guys, nothing related to price or price prediction of SafeMoon as well. That's nonsense.
All right, Thomas. First of all,
Yeah.
I want to again thank you for coming on.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. Look, I had a maneuver, and I'm gonna be frank. Like I'm not about throwing these questions and getting ratings from it. Like I consider you a really, really, really cool person, a friend in this space. Because like we've chatted, you've been nothing but nice to me, and I believe that whatever you do, you'll be successful with it. Uh, there's no doubt about that, and you'll be an asset to whatever company you link up with or consult for, etc. So like, I appreciate our friendship. I appreciate Ken Bozak giving me a fucking
Good.
you know, giving that attaboy. He's a good boy over there, kind of thing.
Yep.
I got to go ahead and shout it out. Give him a shout out. That man, Ken Bozak.
I love that guy. So
He
much.
is Mr. NFT. I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
Yeah.
He was yelling NFTs before anybody was yelling NFTs. He told me how stupid and idiotic I was for not getting into NFTs. I used to blow him away. Like just
Oh my
like
god.
he would be in my DMs saying, "Dave, fuck crypto," not in a bad way.
Imagine if
Like,
you had an original Ken. Come on, fuck around. That's OG
that's
NFT
OG.
shit.
But he would be like, "Yo, Dave, you got to look at NFTs," and I'm like, "Ken, Ken, listen to me. For me personally, at the time, NFTs, titling, that's all I see. I don't see what you see. The fucking art that I'm looking at, I'm not into it." He's like, "You're going to see. I guarantee you, years from now, you're going to be saying, 'Holy shit, Ken was right.'" Not in a
Yeah.
bad way, not in a
Yeah.
mean way. He was like, straight
You're
up,
gonna
like,
say
"You're wrong."
5 years from now, you're gonna look at yourself in the mirror, happy as fuck.
And now what is it? 4.5 years from now,
Right.
or 4 years from that date, literally, the NFT space is going ape shit. So shout outs to Ken, man.
Absolutely.
He didn't pay. He didn't pay for that shout out at all. Fully transparent. All right, so let's bring some people up here. Andrew, you want to do the honors with people coming up here? And please, again,
I'll take care of it,
be
Dave. No
considerate.
problem.
Be
Look,
considerate. Be
I want to say,
nice.
I
You
want
want
to
to
say
ask hard questions?
from
That's fine. I'm sure Tom's will take them on,
I
but don't be stupid with it.
from early on, right, in our AMAs, when Trevor and I, like, so I'm going to tell you guys a story before we bring someone on. I'm sorry to derail that. When Trevor and I started the AMAs, literally, I was in a phone call with him, my private, like, I've got a Papa server from old gaming friends, right? I accidentally jumped inside the SafeMoon server, and a few people, like, joined, like, instantly. And I went back to Trevor and I was like, bro, like, why are we talking in private? Let's just jump over there and see what happens, right? We had like 20 people that first night, and they just kept asking questions. We kept bumping up against edge cases, right? And this was like the first AMA. Bumping up against edge cases and answering, right? And there was like twice that I was caught with a question that I couldn't answer. I really relish those moments because I'm exposed to new ideas, right? Futters, fuck you guys. But if you've got an edge case, but if you have a true hard question for me, I'm gonna love you, man. Like, bring me something that's difficult to answer, but not just like on an emotional level. Like, fuck that, right? But give me a difficult question. Give me something to think about, and I'm gonna love that. So, just want to put that up.
Let's go ahead and let's take it to the audience. Go ahead, Andrew.
I'll take it, no problem. Dave, do you see a kill up here? Because he's been blowing up my DMs. Apparently he's here,
Listen,
but we don't
he has
see
a
him.
fucking Nokia phone, and he expects to get onto Spaces. So what do you fucking want me to tell? I have no clue. I don't think the best fucking coder on the planet can go ahead and fucking help him. The best dev on the planet couldn't help him. He needs a new phone. He needs to stop being cheap. Okay, G Media will pay for your phone. Okay, how about that? Go get yourself a phone.
This is true. This is true.
Now he's DMing me saying $700 phone, you bitch. But like at the end of the day, like if you can't get into a space, well, you know what? You need to go ahead and question what kind of phone you got. And I guarantee you, you do not have a $1,700 phone. You got one of those old people phones like Andrew does. You know, constantly tells me shit.
To be fair, I totally have one of those kind of phones. My phone crashed like the other day, just from Spaces.
I mean, listen, our friend Akil here, him and Andrew battle it out. But I think Andrew's right on this one where, you know, Akil might have this Nokia phone from like 1994 trying to get into Spaces.
Thomas, just for some context, he is 65. So, I mean, I'm sure your phone is a
Oh
lot
my
newer
Okay.
than his.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk any kind of shit. Don't worry.
SafeMoon Zeus, what's going on? You are live with us tonight, and Thomas
What's up,
is right
guys?
here. What's going on, man?
Hey, I appreciate you guys for bringing me up. Much love to you, Thomas. We do love you, brother. Like, real talk. The whole community is going to miss you, but you wanted a hard question.
Bro, they couldn't miss me. I'm still here.
Here, you wanted a hard question, so here it is. So you stated, you know, that you're going to be in communication with John, you know, if he ever needs assistance. Here's the ball. If you sign with another blockchain or you get onto another project, how are you able to help SafeMoon if you're signed in for like a non-compete?
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I think John knows more than anyone that I won't sign something that requires me to not do something. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, but what about the other employer, though? The new employer? That would be part of the agreement before you would sign?
Like I said, I wouldn't sign something like that. So if I had a new employer, they wouldn't require me to do that.
That's awesome, brother.
I don't care about the money.
No. Thank you. That was my question. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Zeus.
That was
all right. Zeus, thank you very much for being professional. And
let me bring
I
somebody
want to say thank you for serving out.
I'm gonna bring up a fan
Thank you
favorite.
for serving. Appreciate you, man. Zeus. If that's really a picture of you, thank you so much for serving, man.
I'm bringing up a fan favorite, Brett. If you guys don't know Brett, you're about to. Brett, what's going on, man?
They calling you Brett?
Hey, thanks so much. I appreciate it. And shout out to you also, Forte. Great job of what you do. Shout out to David. Shout out to G Media. Everybody involved here.
Shout out to Brett.
Hey, I appreciate it. Hey, Thomas, man, first of all, thank you for everything, man. I fully understand, your job isn't a 9 to 5. It's not a full-time thing. You do what you got to do. You do the best, and you move on to the next and do the best for them. So thank you for everything. And damn, now I might have lost for words now that I'm up here, even though I was up in the AMA. So I know a few people have asked you, what you're looking to do to move forward. And you've mentioned a few times, working on other things to connect with SafeMoon from the outside. And, a lot of people's question to you is the blockchain done? I'm not going to answer that for you. I know myself, there's a lot of work to do, a lot of things that connect with it. So go ahead, sir.
Wait, is that the question?
No, what I was going to ask is if you're able to speak on any of it, what kind of things moving forward would you love to work on that you plan on, connecting with it? I know we talk a lot about telecommunications and internet and things like that.
Okay. Yeah. So this is a really great question. I love this one. My focus for my work is to convert traditional financial instruments into DeFi using billion-dollar organizations. So, and that's not just finance as you know it. Traditional finance, what I called old money, right? I said I would attack. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? In the end, for old money, this means getting to survive. Anyone who doesn't adapt dies. This is economic Darwinism, as I spoke about before. So if no one else is going to do it, if no one else is going to step into, like from our community, step into traditional finance and say, this is how you could realistically overhaul your product. It's not going to happen, right? So what I'm thinking is, let's change money, the way that we think of it, by injecting ourselves and our culture into money so that the money of tomorrow can understand money at all. So that's my focus right there. And then it's not just traditional markets, but traditional crypto, bringing non-smart chains into DeFi. It's a giant, giant thing for me. So it's, I wouldn't fuck around. It is one of the largest things to happen in DeFi, period. People can call me on that. Check me in 6 months. Screenshot it.
That's awesome. I love it, man. Thank you so much. And love what you're doing. Let's go change the world, man.
Let's do it.
And yes, sir. Thank you for everything. Thank you, David.
Thank you, Brett. We appreciate the professionalism.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Appreciate you, Brett. It's all about just like coming on here and being like a fucking mature adult about things. And that's really it. Ask hard questions, but don't be a dick about it.
What up, Josh?
Oh, hey, thanks for having me. First of all, just wanted to say thanks to Thomas. I think everybody that's going to come up from the SafeMoon Army is going to say thank you. Thank you so much. Second, hey, look, I wanted to ask you. I'm a traditional IT guy. I've worked in IT now for over 15 years. I started out as a help desk tech, kind of worked my way up, and now I've led 2 different IT departments in the public space, and I'm looking to, man, after hearing you talk about DeFi the other night, I'm looking to make some change, man. I want to move into the DeFi space, and I'm wondering what are tips that you would give a traditional IT person that's not a developer, something like that, to get into the DeFi space?
Okay. So, awesome question. Let's suggest you're already familiar with documentation. You're already familiar with difficult jobs. what would you do to change your life, right? And a lot of people would say, oh, I'd do anything to change my situation, whatever. But for people who are technically inclined, you are 1 year of spending your video game time and your off time. Like this is where college is a joke, right? You know, the amount of study and the effort that we put into PhDs is a joke compared to what we need to do to study to learn something for real. This is, and granted, PhDs are like the epitome. I don't want to undersell that. It's a great achievement, right? But if you need to learn something for you, start with a docs, man. You want to learn about DeFi? Start with Ethereum. Most things are forked off of that. If you're not into programming, I suggest you learn it. Methodologies, databases. Like this is it. It's an entire. This is like learning a subset of. It's its own kung fu, right? It's its own focus, its own flow. This is computer science, right? So hardware, administration of that hardware, the software that goes and runs those systems, the networking, the hardware and the networking. All of these things are masteries. For me, I'm a full stacker, right? So, and I'm beyond a senior full stacker. I can do a whole bunch of shit. But I'm not a specialist in any one place. You're going to find specialists all over the place talking shit about me if they want. But at the end, I can scale systems.
Right.
So,
right. And
what matters is if you want to get into DeFi truly, immerse yourself in the language. Bring yourself into these communities and try to figure out, you have to study these laws. If you have some capital, perhaps you should purchase a lawyer that's familiar with crypto and ask them to train you on some things instead of asking them to sue somebody. Or reach out into the space like people have done. Like it's intricate, right? There's a reason why there's only so many of us, but then also only so many of us left, right? Because some of us have been completely restricted from the internet for not following arbitrary regulation. It's tricky to say, but what I will say is learn as much as you can about Ethereum, about BNB, sorry Binance, but fuck your normie token, but your smart chain is where it's at. The smart chains are really all that matter in DeFi. So where to start? Immerse yourself. Learn about programming. Become aware of the thresholds of as far as marketing is concerned, be aware of the thresholds that successful projects follow. And there's certain timings that you need to do. There are certain listings, CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, all of these post-launch things. Pre-launch, you want to have your audit already done before you even launch it. Tell the public. So there's no class for this. There's no college that's going to teach you any of this stuff. What it's going to take is find a spot in DeFi that you want to reside as a tech person. If it's administration of systems, that's cool, but that's not actually C-level stuff. So I would say if what you're trying to do is get into DeFi on the project level, and get more into biz dev, right? Unless you're a serious dev and you start a project, fly on its own wings. But it's just a mastery of technology in the end, and a mastery of finances. We cross over so heavy. Regulation is butting in, but the protocols don't care, right? It depends on where you're operating out of, right? So you want to make sure that your protocol cares about where you live. So, yeah, so you can service other people. It's a very sad state of things with regulations, but it is what it is. But I was going to say, if you're going to start anywhere, start with the docs. I'll always tell everyone, do it the hard way. Don't have excuses. Don't try to go to Udemy and think that you're going to succeed like that. Do it the hard way. Get inside those docs and know those docs for yourself and not for anyone else. Don't pay a college to try to teach you the docs. Know how to read them? Get at it.
I definitely agree, Thomas. And I'm going to step down to someone else and ask a question. I've worked in the public space for a long time, especially in education. I didn't go to college myself, but I've kind of always been, on the job kind of learner. Again, 15 years experience, but I've mostly been like a sysadmin, like you said, or a jack of all trades.
And that's cool, man. That's a great foundation to build on.
Thank you. And I appreciate, your advice. I think there's a lot more people like me out there, especially in the coming future with some of the innovation that the space is having. I see a lot of us traditional IT people having to make a huge adaptation to be able to remain relevant. So I appreciate your feedback, man. Thanks.
Yeah. No problem.
Thanks for your service as well, Josh.
Oh, thanks, man. I don't like to come up here and tout being a veteran or anything like that, but I appreciate that. Thanks.
I'm bringing up a favorite today, or right now, rather. Jeremiah, what's going on, man?
Hey, how's it going?
Well, yourself?
Well, I can't complain. How's it going, Thomas?
Yo.
Hey.
Awesome. Actually.
Wonderful, man. We haven't forgot about you, man. We still want you at the water cooler. So we
Okay, yeah. I'm happy to. I'm gonna start doing way more spaces soon. So, like
awesome.
after Thanksgiving, I've got spaces like every day except Thanksgiving. Today, not Thanksgiving. Day after. I'm losing track of days.
No problem, man. Well, look, I hope you get a lot of rest. Hopefully, maybe back in Puerto Rico or something like that. And we're definitely praying for you and your health and everything else, man.
Well, okay, wait, hold on. I love you, but I didn't go down to Puerto Rico for vacation. I haven't rolled in a year.
Oh wow, no problem, man. Well, sorry about that, but yeah, well maybe wherever you choose a vacation or whatever, I hope you get plenty of rest, man, because that's what's first and foremost. And we love you not for what you do, but for who you are, man. So shout outs to all the SafeMoon Army, everyone that's down there, bro. We love you guys. I'm here for them. Let me ask you a question about SafeMoon, if you don't mind. How big, for all that you know, okay, because I compared, SafeMoon to Binance, or what they're going to be after the blockchain, the exchange. How big can SafeMoon be? Not necessarily the money wise, but just the company wise. How big do you imagine it being, maybe in the next 5 years or beyond?
How big could SafeMoon be? You want my opinion?
I want your opinion.
Are you sure? It's hold on. I'm going to ask the whole panel. Are you guys sure you want to know how I feel about
Yes, absolutely, please.
SafeMoon could be the ABC of crypto. I'm not fucking around. Like, I'm leaving now, and maybe I'm shooting myself in the foot. And that's okay for me. That's a decision that I've made. But I know where things are going. John has told you over and over that SafeMoon is a tech company. What the fuck did they do when they reached the top of their game?
That's right.
So where do I think their maximum potentiality is reaching ABC level? And that is there is a clear path to this, and I'm telling you, when that SafeMoon blockchain comes out, I'll make a fucking Papa token.
That's what I'm freaking talking about.
Like, you think it's going to be successful or not? Like, I'm going to make a fucking Papa token on the SafeMoon blockchain. Exactly.
This
is not an announcement, by the way, but I'll do it. I'll actually do it.
Let's get it, man. And I don't care. I've said this before because I understand your vision and everything else like that. I'm gonna leave it at this. when I say I look at what the possibility, the potential of SafeMoon being after the blockchain and after whatever you guys want to execute, and being a tech company, and the same cut from the same cloth as the Teslas, as the Apples, and everything else. We're not there yet, but I
Right.
see you guys being just that much, that big.
Right. Man, I'm getting so many text messages. Look, guys, listen to me when I say I am going to put a Papa token on the SafeMoon blockchain. I already talked to John about it. He was like, "Cool, bro."
Thomas, is that exclusive? Is that an exclusive drop right here?
Yeah, sure. When the SafeMoon, all right, look, I can make a bot for this because I know the stack. When the SafeMoon blockchain comes out, I will make a Papa token. Get your fucking wallets ready. I don't care. It's going to be awesome. The Papa token can be the #1 meme token on all of the SafeMoon blockchain. I'm cool with that. I can be the Dogecoin of SafeMoon. I can be the Sheev of SafeMoon. You know what I mean? Like I can do that. Whatever.
I love it, man.
Fine, because we're going to exist under the auspices of Dogecoin and the other standards that were set forward, right? But this is good for SafeMoon too, right? And what if I do other I'm just going to fucking rant. Look, I'm going to make third-party services that give use to SafeMoon beyond its already current uses. People ask me all the time, but what's the fucking use of it? Right? My guy. It's baked into transfer, right? It's not just me sending it to you. And even David brought up earlier that why the fuck is there a fee? For traditional guys like us. It's like, fuck, the fee is terrible. But the fee is an engine that moves this whole motherfucking train. It pushes forward the mechanic of the reflection. So, like by adding liquidity, keeping itself alive in a way that is frictionless, that does not require staking, right? You see all these other tokens, and I'm sorry, guys, it was antiquated, right? If you require your users to stake for liquidity tokens, that you stick to fucking liquidity tokens, it's layers of obscurity to prevent the immediate drain of your own fucking liquidity, guys. Like, don't pretend it's something else. Stupid token that refills its own liquidity is fucking genius. You only have to solve the downward pressure that it puts on itself. Otherwise, swap amplifies. So I didn't even know where I was going with that, and I hope that it provided value. Right?
Bro, you said enough. We appreciate that, and you know what? I can't wait to get on in that pre-sale. So I'm in it, bro.
I'm not doing a pre-sale for that. It'll be a fair launch, the same way Raven Point was done.
Well,
Bruce Benton, looking at you, buddy. You know who I am.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Well, I would love to whenever that launch take place, I would love to do so. But like I said, I want to wish you well, David. Thank you for. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Look. SafeMoon blockchain. When it launches, I'll do it. And there's no way you can't know. Yeah, but yeah.
Wow. Well, I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, look, after Thanksgiving, we'll be waiting for you at the water cooler. Shout out to my co-host, Shrimp. I wanted to shout out.
Jeremiah, no free shout outs.
Oh,
no free shout outs. You gotta
no
say
problem.
No free shout outs.
No problem.
Yeah, man.
Hey, I love you guys. Thank you, David, for allowing me to come up. I do appreciate that. I wish you well, Thomas. You did such an awesome job. You freaking rock, bro. Absolutely.
Let's keep going.
Thanks, Jeremiah, man. If there's any women in the crowd that want to come up, please, shoot me a DM. If you say you're a woman, you're not a woman, well, shame on you. We've had too many men come up thus far. We need some women in crypto, man. I believe this is a woman. Hold on, let me check. We're about to find out real soon.
My messages are exploding. It's like
I can only imagine, Thomas, because mine are as well.
Mine are also.
What's
like,
up, Crypto
Oh my
Girl?
God, David! Like, I got the 5%. Like, you're such an asshole. You're trying to put Thomas into a corner. What the fuck are you talking about? What corner?
Wait,
But I
what?
wish. Yeah,
A
I'm
corner?
trying.
No,
I'm
look,
baiting. I'm baiting like to,
I
FUD on
relish,
SafeMoon. Like, yeah, I'm
bro.
apparently baiting.
I relish this opportunity to give answers. And if a fudder can't come up here with a hard question, shame on them.
Hey guys.
Hey, what's going on?
Oh,
Not much. I just wanted to get up and say thank you to you, Thomas. I mean, I'm a mom who works 2 jobs to support my 2 kids, and the opportunities that this space has created for me has been really incredible. Both with SafeMoon and Rocket BUSD. So I just wanted to say thank you. You've changed my life. That's all.
oh shit. Hey, you're welcome.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's so much toxicity in this space and shit talking, and I have none of that for you. A lot of appreciation. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Thanks for having me up, guys.
Thanks, Crypto Girl.
Man, Papa, everybody's going so easy on you.
I know, right? And these fudders are so mean.
Don't say that, because we're actually being so hard on them.
Oh no.
Yeah, Thomas, I'm sorry for bullying you, man. I didn't mean to.
Look, honestly, I'm one of the most horrible trolls you've ever met. And like, I'm an early 4chan. Like, I'm Kekistan. You can't troll me. If something bothers me fundamentally, I do something about it. That's the thing about it, right? So if I can't handle it a certain way, I do it another. It's all. That's engineering, right? I'm a classic black pillar, but I found value in the earth, right? So it's the difference between nihilism and absurdism. I've created my own value, and it's astonishing when you can do something. So bring the fucking heat, nerds. Like, what's going on? Like, do I have to talk shit until someone asks me something stupid?
He said nerds.
Like, where the fuck?
Be careful.
Yo,
we don't,
where the
Thomas,
fuck is
we don't
Matt
want
Wallace?
you
He said
we don't want you
nerds.
fudding SafeMoon here.
No, I'm not going to
I'm
FUD
just
SafeMoon
being cute
because
here.
I
I'm
believe
just
in
being
it,
cute,
right?
SafeMoon community. Don't
I
get angry.
would not create a service that accepts SafeMoon or uses SafeMoon as a value driver, unless I believed in it. For the same reason, like, I'm not using Cthulhu offerings. And to be honest with you guys, God saved that idea. But when Cryptopia went down, I lost all of my Cthulhu offerings, and I never got them back. Right? People want to talk all this shit, like the fucking Mount Gox people. They lost all their money because that launderer, right? They gave you the dollar value at the time for your fucking bitcoins. You should have all been tens of millionaires.
Thomas, meet my friend. Sorry, I'll rephrase that. Our friend Akil Patterson, the man who has trouble with his phone, who is 65. Akil, thank you for coming up. It's been like, an hour and a half, but we're glad your phone from 1955 is finally fucking working, man.
I want everybody in this room to know that David Gokhshtein said, "F it, I'll buy you a new phone." And the funny part is I literally went out and bought a new phone.
Oh my
2
god!
weeks ago.
Oh my god! Dude, you gotta do it now.
Exactly, right?
Listen. Trust me, I'll take it up with Akil. I know he's good at putting a fucking deal together here, man. He's trying to put me together in front of a crowd. So, Akil, it's great. Look, I'm gonna be like Andrew now. It's fun. It's great for you to finally get up here after an hour and a half.
It's great,
Did
Thomas.
you
I
drink
wanted
something shore?
Wait, what?
to. I drank my Pedialyte instead. Because tonight is the night before Thanksgiving, so it's Drinksgiving for somebody. Although I don't drink as much anymore.
Skip. Wait, hold on. I love that. Can I just fuck all this other stuff? Drinksgiving sounds nice.
Thomas, growing up as a kid, or when you come back from college, that first year back, they would be like, "Yo, it's Drinksgiving," and I'm like, "What's Drinksgiving?" And you'd go to some kid's house, and there'd be a giant party, and everybody, parents included, getting hammered. So it's the night before Thanksgiving, Drinksgiving. But I wanted to ask you a question, Thomas, and and it's not just out of spite or anything.
Okay.
I'm a business guy, right? I'm a business guy, and what it seemed like, Thomas, and I was looking at the Discord, and I've been reading some of the tweets that the CEO of SafeMoon's put out. This looks like a planned and executed corporate exit by them.
Okay, so one of the things that I think that I should warn everyone who ever deals with me, right? It's face value. John told you something happened. And it's no secret that I spoke to John about leaving before. Right?
Yeah.
So this was it's not a corporate planned exit, right? This is my decision. I made that decision before. When the death threats came and I gave up the contract ownership, right? I was the custodian in New Hampshire. One of New Hampshire's laws was HB 436. I can hold keys for myself or others as an individual, right? So New Hampshire's laws were very specific with this, and it made a lot of sense for us to store the contract here. But that caused a lot of problems for me, fundamentally, with the size of it. I didn't have enough guns. I didn't have enough people, enough acreage, right? At that time, I was living in an apartment. I've since changed that, right? And I'm going to stay ambiguous because of the death threats and everything else. And if it changes, if someone finds out where I am, I won't be here. So it's, this is not a corporate exit strategy. John didn't fire me, nothing like that. Ginger didn't submit information through Kark and use the token to FUD the fuck out of me, right? Because I was talking to John the whole time. In fact, you guys, if you're listening right now, you don't know what you're talking about. I gave you the chance to listen, you didn't take it. So, and that's all I'm going to tell you, right? Because the people that I need to answer to for those things, I've already answered to.
So then my follow-up, Thomas, is then why are they making it? I didn't say you said it. I just said what I'm reading from the Discord and how things are being presented. It gives the appearance of a corporate exit. Like, hey, we sat down for 6-7 weeks. We planned this out. But so why is he selling it as their decision?
This could never be a fully. This is very much a human experience, right? One that I didn't want marketed. I didn't want it to be a fucking giant thing, right? Because it could do more damage than good. This does more good than damage. I'm always here, I'm always available, it's no big deal. And also, SafeMoon doesn't have to pay me for what I can do. It's easy. But as far as a corporate exit and it being planned, the way that he said that was accurate, right? I had always intended that when I provided what I was going to provide, that I was done, that when I was comfortable, I'd be ready. I got up on Spaces with John a few times, and I even warned people. I said, hey, look, I may not always be here as a CBO, but I'll be here as Pound. Right? I'm not fucking running. I'm not going anywhere. We didn't rug pull. Nothing happened. I love Hank, and I love SafeMoon Dev, like, Trevor, all the guys that built this to where we are, let's celebrate them. They're on their own things. That's fine. Whatever. Let them go.
And brother, I wasn't trying to,
Yeah.
listen, I don't want to pull back any band-aids because, when we spoke back in August,
Yeah.
you said, and this is what I told the team up here, the G Media Squad, the G Unit. I said to them, I said, you know what? It sounds like he's planning to leave. Now, this was back in August when you were like, I'm not planning on leaving at this time, were your exact words. And and at that moment, I said, oh, he's getting ready to go on his own terms. They're trying to work it out. That's what I thought.
Well, so at that time, it was on the table. I didn't take it off the table. That in the future, you might do something else. Because I like other problems. I'm a full stacker. I don't like to specialize in anything. So, with regard to that, I'm not worried about it.
It is what it is, man. And again, I was not trying to pull back old wounds and band-aids and make things bleed out. But I just wanted to say, like, that's the way it was curtailed. And it sounds like you did.
It pissed me off a whole bunch. There was some, like, when I started to talk to John and I was trying to have an intensely personal conversation with him, and I got leaked, right? Then I got kicked from Discord while I was on Spaces with Gokhshtein. I was like, fuck, guys. Really, I got banned from Discord, right? When all that shit happened, like, that was just annoying, right? But I was still SafeMoon pop-up. Like, I was still SafeMoon CBO pop-up. Like, I didn't lose anything because I hadn't concluded my conversation with John, right? It was leaked. People were like, oh, he's fucking leaving. It's like, have you ever considered something or tried to consider bouncing an idea off of someone in private? Someone overhears you and assumes that's your full intent. Like you couldn't work it out somehow, right? Between John and I, we worked it out in a way, right? But this was not John's fault, right? There are crazies in our community. They buy the fucking top and they sell the bottom. And they assume it's our fault. It's like, guys, perhaps you shouldn't be investing in the first place, right? This is why regulations are here and all this stuff. People are not slowing down to be smart enough, and perhaps our community should be educating more. So these things kind of bother me on a fundamental level where I couldn't like get out there and be like, oh, yeah, like these are the things that you should pay attention to because it's considered financial advice. It's like weird things that are so fundamental to crypto that are not in traditional markets. You're not able to see the inner workings of an organization. And now SafeMoon is not necessarily, like SafeMoon's a little bit hardened now, right? In a way that we're not so transparent with everything. I shouldn't say we anymore, but in a way that SafeMoon is not transparent anymore. So, we overshared until people became uncomfortable. And we figured out, okay, this is the level. Right?
Yeah, I got you, brother. And you're absolutely right. I had to make that point to somebody today, just simply saying, this isn't the stock market. You're not a shareholder, so they don't know you a damn thing. Is basically what I told somebody. Like I was trying to be nice about it.
What's crazy too is also we would share about our private lives until people became uncomfortable. But we were never able to share how uncomfortable that is for us as fathers, as mothers and other people in the organization, like being this public and this transparent. While you're not seeing the financials, you can see the blockchain. That's fine, right? Understand that we were all paid. So at the end of the day, it's like, what can you do, right? What are the expectations? What are the standards that we need to set as a community for expectations? Because as a community, this is a baby compared to gaming, compared to apps, compared to websites, blogs and forums where communities are built. Well, expectations are a lot slower, a lot, more realistic to what web development is. When your favorite game takes 2 extra weeks to build, you don't issue 100 fucking death threats a day. on your favorite game, Cyberpunk. I'm sure they got a bunch of, just an example, right? Or looking at No Man's Sky. I love No Man's Sky. It's grown into a great game, but there were delays, there were problems, there were serious issues. They overcame, right? I think that's the story of SafeMoon, right? You look at the website the first week, it was trash. It's a trashy website, couldn't handle traffic, all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, it's like we overcame all of that because we were dedicated. And the members of the team that are still here are still dedicated to DeFi. Like the people that did not disappear. You've got everyone who was at SafeMoon that made this thing a thing, right? If you're going to look at, this is an answer to the question that I got earlier. Where's DeFi going? None of us ran. Why do you think that is? None of us have heat. None of us have done anything wrong, and all we've done is lift up the space. It's incredible. I'm so bullish. I apologize for ranting again.
Yo, am I good to go, guys?
Hey, SafeMoon. You're good, man. Thanks for joining us.
No, man. Thomas, don't be sorry for being passionate, man. You know, you got to love being passionate. Long-time listener, first-time caller, Thomas. I appreciate you taking this. So I wanted to say that you are an inspiration to people, and I feel you on your side of things as far as the DeFi space goes and changing things, because I've been advising my clients for years about cryptocurrency, and I am shunned in my particular field by other people for that. Jokes on them, I sold my companies for a huge profit because of that. So they can all kiss my ass just like everybody can kiss your ass.
You didn't need their permission for them to kiss your ass.
That's right. So I have I have two questions for you. Whether you can answer them or not, that's absolutely fine. I understand if there's an NDA. But number one is about the blockchain. Is there anything that you did with the blockchain that does not, go against your NDA that you're excited about that you could share with the community, whether it be a process of it or a direction it may be going, or just something cool that you were able to insert that you're allowed to talk about?
Okay. Yeah, there's some stuff. And this would be so technical that it would fucking hurt. But one of my favorite parts is the validation of it. That's really all I can say is how it validates.
All right, how it validates. So there's rabbit hole number one for all you guys down there. Let's figure that out. People that are smarter than me.
Yeah, this is not passing any. It's not breaking any kind of secrecy or anything like that. That's the part that I like the most. Validates.
Awesome. I'm sure that your DMs will blow up with shit about that. So number two, and this is a simple question that may have a hard answer. So the phone call that you pasted about or you tweeted about that's changing the world. I know you can't go into detail about it, but can you tell us what type of time frame it would be before we at least know a portion of it or what's going on with that? Is it 6 months, a year?
On a scale of soon, sometime in December.
Oh shit! Well, that's fucking awesome. We're gonna have, pardon my language, but we're gonna have some badass news in December.
So I've spoken a lot about how I feel like I don't feel good, right? That motivates me to go faster for the stuff that I want to do. So 6 months, under 6 months, something absolutely incredible happened. Screenshot. Holy shit. I'm not going to say the name tonight, and it's not something any of you have heard. It's fucking crazy.
Well, as always, man, I love people that are passionate about what they do. And you're obviously one of the most passionate people I think I've ever talked to or seen inside of the DeFi space. And we truly, as a SafeMoon Army, love what you do, and we're behind you 100%. I hold SafeMoon spaces or Twitter spaces all the time that have, between 500 and 800 people. And a lot of stuff falls back to the blockchain and how much we love what you're doing and how you're backing it up and the whole team and everything. And if you'd ever like to stop by, we'd love to have you. You don't even have to say much, just to stop in and help the community, because we have a lot of new people that come in my spaces, and I do try to educate them the best I can, but there may be things that you can answer that I can't. So we love what you do, man.
Cool, man. Like, I fully intend to remain a member of the community. It's what I've wanted. Like I said before, I've always, jealousy is not a good thing, right? But I've always been jealous of members of the community, not administrators. Of the freedom of it. So you can expect me to remain one of the staunchest community members that exists. So I apologize to any other influencers who have been trying to work up a thing, but now I'm the SafeMoon guy.
Well, just so you know, you're not the SafeMoon guy to me. You're the DeFi space guy.
I definitely fucking appreciate that, because that's dope.
Well, dude, I followed you. I'm an investor since day 4, and I followed you since then. And it's just become
the day
very.
after I joined.
Yeah. And it's been a hell of a ride, but I've seen you evolve, and I've seen your persona evolve over this time. And I just wanted to say that, it's great what you did for SafeMoon, but I learned early on that that's not what you're about. You're about changing the overall space. So thank you for what you do. I'm going to go ahead and drop down, and if you ever see me in a space, please come on in and hit me up. I hope you're very happy and healthy.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, SafeMoon Millionaire. Next, we have Freemason, and then we have, unfortunately, Tex here with us today, too.
Hey, guys. How are you? My name is Brendan. You may or may not have seen me on America on Earth on the History Channel. Thomas, just one question. In the light of Suzuki with the rug pull that happened recently, I heard you talk about...
Hold on. History Channel?
Yes. Yeah,
what?
There's a show
Say
called...
that again?
Yeah, there's a show called America on Earth.
What's that?
It's a show about how other societies have found the United States before Columbus.
Is that on A&E? Is that an A&E?
Yeah, it's on A&E now.
Do I like that stock?
I don't know. As far as Suzuki goes?
No, A&E.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. Had to ask if we're going to plug stuff.
But I wanted to just see where you stand. You talked about community and maybe having obviously the reason why there's more regulations. One of the things that I see is a lot of tribalism when you get on a lot of these telegrams, and it's all rah 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 and push. And this is likened probably because people want to buy into something new and fresh that might have the possibility of going to the moon, if you will. And what's your take on that? And as far as safely investing for a lot of these people that might not have a ton of money to invest, but it's enough to hurt them when something like that happens.
What to do to make it safer?
Yes.
Okay, so I would not call this financial advice, call this diligence advice, right? In crypto, this is your fundamentals are going to be dramatically different from normie stocks, right? You're going to want to see if the project is open source. Do you know who all the people on the team are? What's their ethos? Do they have a proven track record? Do they have history? Who are their advisors? Right? Does the experience match the goal? Does it match the dream? Right? Are they able to produce? Had they produced before? Did they perform the same way as X, Y, or Z project before something happened to them? Right? Studying the space will give you a strong idea of behaviors far before they happen, right? It's almost like you can see the future in DeFi, in crypto in general. Shit's open source. And if it's not, it's fucking Bitcoin. Right? So.
Thank you very much. Well stated.
Thank you.
Thanks, Freemason. Tech, you hear you, nerd?
Listen, I'm here.
Ask your nerd question.
I want to ask you, community, they're blowing my DMs up, and they want to answer some real questions. I'll ask it if you for it.
Okay.
Now I'll talk some tech questions too, though. I mean, either one. I'm up to you, brother.
Ask whatever. All right, start with the worst shit first.
The worst shit first. That shit out of there.
Yeah.
Coming up is can you explain the concept of swap and liquefy and further why it hasn't or can't be disabled in V1 in the V1 smart contract? And then the second question to that is also can you clarify as to
what?
So I guess it's about swap.
You're in the blockchain bad, Tech.
I'm going to try to answer that first question.
Can you hear me again?
I'm going to try to answer the first question, right? Because that's the only one I heard, I think. So you want me to explain swap and liquefy and what's going on with a V1 and why it doesn't refill a V2?
Can you guys hear me now clearly?
Is that what you asked?
Thomas, can you hear the nerd or no?
No?
I can't hear him either. Nerd, you still here?
All right, can you guys hear me now?
Look.
Yeah.
Yeah, we hear you, nerd.
Now we're good? All right, sorry about that. I had to get on the
Would it help if I tweet that? Or
No, I'm with you. Listen, I'll reread it for you because this is what they're pushing on me right now. All right. Can you explain the concept of swap and liquefy and further elaborate why it hasn't or can't be disabled in the V1 smart contract? That's the first question. The follow-up question. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so what swap and liquefy is, every transaction that's not the reflections adds liquidity. So it needs to take half SafeMoon and half BNB. So at a certain threshold, it will swap and liquefy the BNB that it had collected, half of it, submit it to liquidity. Before, I think some fetters had a problem because I was tired and I was like mixing that up with reflections. It's not the case. The reason why it hadn't been disabled is a John thing. To be honest.
Okay. That's straightforward.
I was not able to, like, I didn't make decisions with the smart contract. So we did bring it to John. We did bring it internally. But I mean, I'm not gonna let the blame fall with me, like, ever. Like, I'm just gonna tell the truth of it now that I can. If you're gonna ask why swap and liquefy was never disabled, I did ask John, and John said no.
All right, that answered your question, community. So then I got a techie question. So with this SafeMoon block,
Tech, can we go to Ellie first? She's been here waiting, and then we'll go back to you after.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thanks, Tech. Ellie,
I am. Can everybody hear me?
You're good.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes. No.
Yes, we can. We can.
Yes.
See what you did, Tech? You put it in the blockchain.
My fault, Ellie.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Ellie, you're good. We heard you there for a second.
Hi, everybody. Ellie, L, whatever you want to call me is cool. Thank you for having me up. So I have like super quick questions too. First one is for me, which is what is the thing that you've loved most about the SafeMoon community and working on SafeMoon? And then I have a nerd question to follow.
Okay. Some of my favorite stuff, it was like the first 3 months leading up was my favorite. Because we had such a, like, everything was ideas, everything was, we were piling stuff in together. It was just a churn of what a startup is, like truly is, right? The reason you do it for fun, right? That's what it felt like. So that was my favorite part. And then also the community. So it's both like first and second, tied for first.
Awesome. Thank you. So my nerd question is there any way you can go into more detail about what you mean about the chip producers? How does it relate to disrupting financial standards? Is that perhaps ASIC miners for the SafeMoon blockchain?
Oh shit. Okay. Okay. I'll hit it. You asked the right question. It's not necessarily miners for SafeMoon. These are miners for Bitcoin. We're looking at bringing liquidity from Bitcoin mining over to DeFi. I don't want to say the scale, but you guys already know.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And I just wanted to say thank you from the community of SafeMoon. I know that we appreciate you for everything that you've done, for being passionate and being, like the train that kind of you, John, Ryan, all of those people. We're so grateful. And I wish you the best of luck on your journey going forward and whatever you do. It's all love. And also, just FYI, there's going to be a meme now about Cole being a baby.
What?
Hello? Shout out Jack Dorsey, I guess, man. Thank you for rugging people off stage, I guess. Ellie, you still with us?
I'm still here. Did you hear any of that?
Yeah. We heard the first 10 seconds you cut out towards the end of the sentence.
Okay. I was just saying, I wanted to say thank you so much, Thomas, for everything you've done for the SafeMoon community. I really appreciate you personally for your passion, for everything that you do for DeFi, and for kind of being such a driving force for what SafeMoon has become. So maybe people haven't said that, but I know we appreciate it. We want to wish you luck in the future for whatever endeavors, DeFi, your destiny, just sending love. And also, I did mention that Cole is now going to have a meme about being a babysitter. So good job and love you. Thanks for having me, guys. Have a great night.
Thank you, Ellie. Tech, you're here for your nerd question?
Listen, I'm here for nerd questions, but I love hearing that SafeMoon is going to bring liquidity into SafeMoon from value that's in the blockchain, very similar to what XMooney's doing right now. Is SafeMoon going to be, the SafeMoon blockchain, is that going to be providing bridges or anything like that to other blockchains like
that is
EVM capabilities?
That's bad news bears territory for me. I'm sorry. I wish I could answer that for you. I can't.
Got it. So when was the switch to ASIC mining? I remember hearing about the electrical, wind power bringing in electricity?
Should not have before. This is something entirely new that no one, not even in my circle, is fairly shocked about it. But this is brand new. So you wouldn't have heard of it. Sorry.
That sounds dope. I want to know.
I wish I could tell you more.
I love
Dave. Thomas, you a motherfucker.
No, because I know it sounds good, man. Like I just want to. I'm a DM you.
Thomas, guess whose birthday it is tomorrow? He's on the panel, and he's wearing a tiara.
What?
Please don't make it about me. Please don't make it about. I'm already getting harassed by a few.
Is it your birthday tomorrow? Like nobody should have brought this up to me.
It is. It is my birthday tomorrow.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
Damn this shit.
You guys are all welcome.
Listen, Dave, man. Dave,
Thanksgiving, and I appreciate the holiday.
Listen, Dave, man, you do a lot for this space, man. Not to take away from Thomas, but you do a lot from this space, man. Take your flowers when you get them, bro. You know that.
Right now, I'm just sitting back and enjoying the community coming up and asking Thomas questions and hearing him answer. I'm really just sitting back, not even trying to talk, just trying to listen.
Let me bring up. Oh, I was gonna bring him up. He fell off. Tech, go with another nerd question in the meantime. I'm gonna bring somebody else up.
All right, I got more. Listen, I'm digging the whole concept of Bitcoin miners coming online and bringing value back. That's honestly, I feel like that's a concept that a lot of projects should bring on board, similar to what Xmooney's been doing and what we're going to ramp up to. There's no denying that there's money leaking all over the place in crypto, and when a project can harness that and bring it back to its holders, that's a win for its holders, right? Originality, maybe not original, but that's neither here nor there. At the end of the day, you got to protect your holders, and if you figure out ways to bring value, that's a win. But
Is
I got
mining
not.
the most conservative thing in crypto?
What was that?
Is mining not the most conservative? Jeez.
It's the most conservative thing. Like, that's one thing that I've gotten a lot of flack for is, well, you could just take that money and invest it in Bitcoin, but at that point, it's not about that, right? Like, one of the easiest ways and lowest risk ways is to accumulate, right? Every second of the day at every price point, and pair your token to Bitcoin, so that if it ever hits hyperacceleration, you're along for the ride, right?
That was one of my early suggestions. Was that create early pipes for the largest splashing in crypto that happens, such that splashing can occur in your direction. Because if you don't create the pipe with which people pay you, it will never happen. So, word of advice to anyone starting a project.
Definitely. I've written a white paper.
Ethereum pair, BNB, not a bad idea. Stick to the Coinbase.
Pairing up with those is obviously BNB is a powerhouse, right? It's a global token used by a global exchange, but there's things that outperform it, that routinely outperform it, and to latch onto that's getting more into really managing a liquidity pool the right way instead of having all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
Evan, what's going on, man?
How you guys doing?
Well,
Good.
yourself?
So, first off, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Hope everybody has a good holiday weekend. Everybody seems like it needs it. So, my question is for Papa, and I wanted to say thanks for everything you've done for SafeMoon. It's definitely changed my viewpoint on crypto as a whole. So, my question is, I know you can't go into specifics about the blockchain, but as in the great words of Gandalf from the SafeMoon community, will the blockchain make ZZ from Binance shit bricks?
All right. So Ethereum can exist alongside Binance, right?
Right.
It's not a saturated market yet. None of us are competing. So at the end of the day, if anyone has this mindset that there's going to be any one killer, it's not going to happen. There's too many liquid markets outside of crypto for that to even be a thing. So that's not about us against them against us, whatever kind of weird stuff. CZ still gave me the fucking trophy.
That he did.
He did. And I appreciate him for it. I don't think it's against us versus them. I think the SafeMoon blockchain is born because it's got too much heat behind it, right? Too much volume. It drives this urge. It's like, okay, we have a problem. How do we overcome it? We bridge. Okay, we have another problem. How do we overcome it? We make a blockchain. Bridge to that blockchain. And I've spoke about it a number of times.
Can I ask you one more question then?
Yeah.
Will the blockchain, will it give us better, I guess? I know that in the past we've talked about our blockchain giving other cryptos tokenomics. Is that something that will change everything for, I guess, the crypto space. I mean, obviously, if you
Wait,
hold
our
Doge,
blockchain giving other what? Say that one more time.
when you have the tokenomics, like we've talked about in previous spaces, when John's come up and said that that's basically what they've thought about doing with, obviously, if you hold Doge, the tokenomic aspect of SafeMoon will
Oh,
that
with
drop.
regard to the exchange?
Yeah,
Entirely
yeah.
possible. That's a method. There's a really clean-cut method that I described previously. That's really good. So with the exchange, holding as advertised should reflect those native coins. It's by way of the exchange, if that makes sense.
Yeah, guys. Thank you for answering my questions, and have a great holiday weekend.
Yeah, of course.
Thanks, Evan. Next, we got Chris. What's going on, Chris?
What's up, guys? If you hear Peppa Pig in the background, that's just my kids before they go to sleep. So just want to give you a heads up, man. First of all, much respect. 2 questions for you, Thomas. Keeping everything positive. Number 1, what would be your best memory in working with the SafeMoon project?
Ooh, shit. That's a good one. I love a really good one. All right, so it's a collection of the same thing, right? Every single time I dropped a boom emoji in main and top of discussion. With migrating V1 to V2 was some of the funnest shit ever. I'd start doing it, and the whole chat would explode that we're doing it. So that was awesome. My number 2 would be the AMAs, because I really do like getting up and talking about all that stuff.
My second question for you would be, out of V2, the exchange, and the blockchain, if you had to rank them 1 through 3 in terms of most important to less important with the success of the project, how would you rank them?
I mean, when you look in terms of longevity, nothing matters about the blockchain. If I was going to look at importance, everything else would be a 0.
Gotcha, man. I appreciate the answer. And then the last thing, I know I was only going to ask 2. On a scale of 1 to 10, how big is this V2 migration in your eyes?
It's one of the most important moves that SafeMoon does. And granted, I have no control over when it happens or how it happens now, right? It's not my thing.
Sure, we understand.
My speculation, and this is my first speculation, right? This is a cool moment. My speculation is that this is if the V2 migration happens before the blockchain is ready, it will be the most important thing that SafeMoon does. Making sure that it's safe, sound, secure, whatever ideas pop off of my own.
Awesome, man. I just want.
But beyond that, the V2 migration can just simply happen as the blockchain launches. So.
Yeah, I really appreciate your answers. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, it's okay.
Anytime you want to come on, we have a show, SafeMoon After Dark, usually at 10 p.m. And anytime you want to come on, I just wanted to extend the invite, sir.
I would like to give a shout out to the original After Darks that we had in the first 2 weeks. Those were very interesting.
Sure. Thank you.
So I'll stop by.
That sounds great. Thank you for your time.
Thanks,
the community asked the question, do you think SafeMoon will ever turn off the reflections?
That's totally up to them. I don't know, actually. It was always up for debate whether at a certain point, as anything would be in flux, right? As far as the mechanics that we can control at a certain time. So, I don't know. I mean, they have the option. They could do it. They don't have to do it. I'm not gonna guess as to whether that's a positive or a negative thing, because I've literally never thought about that as being an option. But they have the ability to do it. So it's possible. It's just the truth of it. But I'm not saying that they would. It's up to them.
We got Joker. What's going on, Joker?
Hey, good evening, everybody. And like a couple of the people before, long-time listener, first-time caller here, Papa. Really appreciate everything that David and you guys are all doing with the space. And Papa, like over the last, couple months, just whether it's cryptic or it's out in the open, the stuff that you said has definitely had me go out and do more research and learn on stuff in relation to crypto technologies and whatnot. So with that, we're going to call it two questions, but the first question is kind of like an A and B. And I'll ask this and then I'll shut up and step down. So you have been involved in a fair amount of projects prior to SafeMoon, and have had some success there, and had some success. And I think you're a very wise person, like most of us here. You learn and grow with each experience. There's a challenge and something that you take away from each of those experiences. So my first question to you is, in regards to SafeMoon, what was one of the biggest challenges, or what was the biggest challenge that you faced in the blockchain, in your involvement with the project? And what was one of the biggest things that you learned in the process of being involved in the project? So that's the first question. I'll let you answer that, then I'll ask the second one.
So SafeMoon has some very interesting mechanics. The biggest thing that got in my way was regulation, right? That's kind of thick.
Take a number.
Yeah. You have to figure out a way to code around that. It's compliant. So the absolute fucking insane amount of conversations that revolve around that, huge waste of time. Could do without it.
Have you never, so in your previous projects, you didn't have to worry about regulation?
Oh, of course I did. All of them. Yeah, definitely. That was always the biggest problem. That's even if you're like a normie dev, like you get in there and you're like, holy shit, is the SEC gonna kill me? Like, are they gonna black bag me in the middle of the night because I came up with a cool idea? It's not what the politicians want you to think, but it's what the SEC does. Not the black bagging, but the fucking ruining people's lives for having a cool idea. And sometimes that happens, right?
Yeah.
So, and it's not even if they take an action, right? It's the pressure they're putting that destroys products before they even have a chance to test whether they can do it or not. Do you want to talk about fucking stopping innovation? There you have it.
That's powerful. So what about that was your biggest challenge. What did you learn? What was the biggest thing that you learned in this whole thing?
Learn how to deal with it. The reason why I'm able to stand here with you today after 11 years is because I've learned to deal with it. Every single time it comes up, every single time we find a way, right, privately before anything's launched, we're like, okay, how do we keep this in mind? These are the things that they're saying that we can't do. Let's not do those things. We have a full understanding of it. And it's weird how gray it is, despite any kind of guidance is going out. As soon as, like Gary Gensler, credit to him that he understands, comes from crypto, stuff like that. So I have some hope there, but as soon as Gary's gone, and despite some stuff, there are people that he's going after inside the space. It's understandable. It happens, right? But what I'm thinking here is, this pressure is very negative. And as soon as Gary's gone, if he's replaced with anyone who doesn't understand this, that doesn't consider this part of the ecosystem, this finance. It's not even just fintech, it's finance, right? If he's gone, then you have someone else who doesn't understand it, who isn't up to his level of understanding currently.
Gotcha. Was there anything?
The thing that I've learned, just to cut to it, is best faith efforts to stay within the guidances that are provided and following what they say you should try to do. Right? They're not killing good people. They've got bigger fish. So.
Okay. All right. So the last question, and this is more of kind of a nerd question, but so in relation to NFTs, and when we start talking about, the ideas that it doesn't have to just be an image or art. Art from a written or drawing form, but it can be music. It can be a movie. It can be anything that is something that people put their blood, sweat, and tears into. I definitely see that that direction of how NFTs are evolving.
Sure.
With the idea that blockchain is going to be the backbone of how artists, for instance, music artists, for instance, can protect their their royalties and protect their work. Do you see something where there's now going to be like this blockchain integration into things, either software wise or hardware wise? And when I say that, I mean, like, take Apple Music for instance. Like, that's a bad example, but now if I have music that is released on a blockchain, do you see somebody like Apple having to incorporate some kind of blockchain technology into their players? And
this is good.
I was just going to add one other thing.
I hope Apple's listening.
What's that?
I hope Apple's listening. Sorry, finish your question.
Thomas, they always are, man. They always are, bro.
Good.
What about on the hardware layer? I mean, let's say you have a Roku or some kind of media streamer. I mean, do you see somebody out there that is a silicon company that is going to make a chip that's just going to be designed to be able to access the blockchain, to be able to authenticate and decode and then stream?
Could you make a purpose-driven chip that only does one thing, if that one thing is complex? Sure.
Great, man.
But I think what I want to expand on, though, is that MetaMask could totally kill iTunes. What? Your whole library in your fucking MetaMask? If the search functions are... MetaMask is awesome. Like, I'm a huge fan of the contributors and everything else. Like, like, I looked at your videos. It's fucking awesome. So, MetaMask could replace iTunes with music NFTs, where that shit is yours. It's yours. Not Apple decides if it's yours. They're not the arbiter of what's yours, right? You purchased it from the iTunes store; they can still pay you, right? So, what I think is wonderful, NFTs and where it's going, are the less fungible NFTs. It says NFT, right? This is bringing up Gary Gensler again. He said, "Go after shit, whether we call it something or not. It's about what it does." Got a lot of fungible NFTs out there, but they are only fungible. The NFTs on the other side, however, are music. This is a nice space, right? Because the music is delivered to you by IPFS or some other protocol. maybe it's centralized. You kind of take that risk when you buy an NFT. So I think that with regard to music NFTs, this is very cool. MetaMask could completely smash Apple. Fuck what Apple thinks. Yeah, that's me.
What about in the gaming world? I mean, could you see, you know?
Okay,
I mean,
so in the gaming world back in 2018, I presented a product at E3, Token Play. I was there. Vince, if you ever hear this, sorry there was bad blood. It's a shout out to what we did. Really. Because in 2018, NFTs as game keys, where the game developers made money when the game keys were transferred, completely smashed GameStop. Right? Back then, we were talking to the Epic Games Store, a little bit of timeline. That shit fell through for us. And then Epic Games made their own game store. Weird. So there's a lot of story there that I'd like to put together with the whole E3 thing. But as far as games and NFTs, tournaments, games of skill, these are huge, huge industries that have not yet, like, so we're only scratching the surface, right? Some interesting pushes, and we see some of our friends doing this now, right? I'm not going to name names. You know who you are. Cool for you. This is awesome. But we are only within our own bubble. We have to expand this. We have to pump our bubble and get our fucking weird DeFi shit out there on top of everyone, so everyone knows. Everyone, so with regard to gaming, esports, and game keys, and data transfer. Fuck, you could verify files instead of using CRC32, right? You could check the checksums, right? The game devs in the audience. Use a blockchain. Use a sharded blockchain to verify your files and update them with your own key legally. Right? That's so much cooler. And then your peers are the chains that validate the files. So with regard to gaming and really anything software or anything immutable data, like all industries, in some way will be totally fucked up.
well, hey man, I appreciate you answering that stuff, man. Like I said, I've been geeking out on a lot of stuff with this. I've been talking to different people about ways that the blockchain may help them, and I got into this interesting conversation where everyone's trying to figure out how to do something on a blockchain or on their blockchain, and one of the things that I said is I think bridges are going to be one of the more popular things that are going to be, you're going to start hearing more and more about in those blockchains, because I see a future, it might be 10 or 20 years from now, where, to protect your interests, whether it be financial or just personal, everything that you run in, say, a household will run on like your own private blockchain. But the way that you interact and connect with the world is going to be through, the leverage of bridges. And so when you started doing a lot of the bridge stuff, early on with SafeMoon, I was like, this sounds cool. Everyone's excited because you can move money back and forth between different blockchains. But the idea of this is like, decades into the future. We're seeing the future start right now. And this is where, I may be too old to understand at that point, like how I sync up my thermostat with my, personal blockchain and whatnot at that point. But, I see this, a lot of the stuff that you've been doing as kind of like the, scratching the surface, if you will, of what both blockchain and bridges can do for, the world. So appreciate your time, man. I'll go ahead and step down so someone else can come up.
Can we have Matt Wallace come up, because I want him to explain
Is he
blockchain to
here?
us? Yeah, he's here.
Oh
Can
my
we,
God, is
Matt?
he here? Can I talk to Matt
He's
Wallace?
here.
Matt, can you come up so you can explain blockchain to us?
Yes, please, Matt Wallace. Show me why you think Dogecoin's going up 20,000%. Tell me your fucking math, bro.
You talking about Web3?
I
don't
am
know if
here.
he knows about that. But all right.
No, man, I've seen his videos. He thinks Dogecoin's going up to 20,000%. I help out on the Facebook page. I've spoken to the dev. I'm wondering, just wondering why you're fucking up the whole community, guy. Come up here, talk.
He left.
I'm
He
good.
left.
I'm not gonna run.
He
I'm
left.
good.
He won't come
He
up
left?
here. He won't come up here.
I'm not even gonna fun him. Actually, honestly, if you can come up here and explain to me what blockchain is, we'll be the best friends.
I just want him to tell me, how do you onboard yourself into crypto?
Hey, that's
super
not a
easy.
bad. That's not a bad story. You can start, bro. Was it? Yeah. When?
But he won't. Matt Wallace came in here. I'm sure he wanted to go ahead and pitch his final stand as we look at Elon Musk's forehead and find out which way the market is going.
Man, you know what? I would invite the worst of fudders to come up here and ask me any kind of questions. It's like right now, here, have a second shot. Let's go. Give me something.
Thomas, you were talking about Gary, SEC.
Yeah.
This. I keep saying this. Sit back for a second, though, right, and think about it. Like, as much as I love America, I'm an American citizen. To me, it doesn't revolve around the United States. Unfortunately, crypto is bigger.
Yeah, and it's weird how our own regulation kind of dictate what's going on with the rest of the world. I openly invite the SEC, Gary, and everybody else to just give clean guidance. Tell the people who are running the projects what they can't do, period. Not some, maybe stuff, right? Can't do this, can do that. What are the realms of possibility, right? People don't want to get in trouble. Fuck that shit, right? And so far, all it's been is just guessing, right? Even XRP, they are solid as fuck. What's going on there? I don't. Anyway, I shouldn't have done this.
They need to adapt to it. Period. Said and done. Adapt. Stop putting in these crazy ass regulations, taxing people, taxing. I don't know if it's still in there, but you wanted to tax coders, like people that develop what? Like they have nothing to do with anything.
They pulled that out. They did pull that one out.
But that was ridiculous. Like, let's just throw everything at this. We don't know any, like you said about Ted Cruz. Like, they don't know anything about any. Like Ted Cruz stood up there and goes, "There are not 5 people in this room that can go ahead and explain to me what blockchain technology is."
He's one of the 5 that can't explain it either. They're all weird.
But they all admit they don't know anything. Bring people from this space who've been here forever. Bring people to the table. Let us explain what this space is all about. Stop with these regulations. Like, if you're going to put in regulations, make them crypto friendly. Allow our innovators to build here and continue to build. Let us have it stay here.
And if it's a money game for them, if it's a money game for them, define it clearly, right? Otherwise, don't do it at all. They want to protect. It's the guise of protecting investors. If you've found out how to buy something, you're fairly well informed. If you've purchased something that is fucking stupid, man, if you bought Squid Game, that's on you.
That's funny.
And the worst part is some of us still made money off of that stupid thing.
Jesus.
Thomas, you said that, and half this panel got into it.
We didn't get. Listen,
sorry, guys.
Oh no, Thomas, trust me. We all said the same thing. Like we literally get together and we said, "This is stupid. We're investing in it because we know it's stupid, and that someone is going to be dumber than us to invest in it." That was literally the conversation we had.
Had to. People do it anyway, right?
Yeah.
People do it. It's a race, right? You're racing them to pull liquidity at that point, because when you've co-opted a brand, you've stolen from this organization that you're buying into is clearly stolen from someone else.
Thomas,
When they
Thomas, it got even worse though. It got even worse. The Squid Game contract got even worse. So even after they like pulled all the liquidity out, somebody kept putting money into that stupid thing.
Oh no.
And we were watching, we were like, are you fucking serious? People keep putting money in this.
I haven't been watching that at all. I just saw this shit play out, and I was like, "Oh, it's Squid Game. The Squid Game token. Red flag. Netflix is going to sue them. Netflix is going to go sue them, and they wrote them."
Yeah, but
Yo,
it
as
is what
soon
it
as
is.
I saw people trying to invest in it, I was like, "Yo, this shit is straight up trash, like straight up trash, man." And like all those fake ass team members that they put up there, Netflix and all, man, like they made it seem like big time players were in it, man. That sucked, man. But like, not to give them airtime. Who else is ready to go ahead and talk to Thomas? I know there's we have like 31 requests. I don't know, Thomas, you got time for all this?
Not everything, but
okay,
a little more. Yeah.
I brought up SafeMoon. What's his at? Jared, what's going on? Jared Dunn.
Hey, thank you so much for bringing me up. And Thomas, I just want to say thank you so much for your contribution and all you've done for SafeMoon. And over the past couple days, watching these idiots say stupid things, I just, someone who's been around small and large organizations for 20 years doing executive coaching and consulting and strategic planning, I saw it for what it was. And your contribution has been invaluable. And
thank you.
I just want to thank you, because I came into crypto 4 years ago, had an opportunity to get in, couldn't understand it, didn't do it. And my buddy made over $1 million. And so back in April, after burning out, I was like, okay, you know what? I got some time. I'm going to learn about crypto. And I jumped in, didn't know what I didn't know, but I happened to come across SafeMoon, and I heard you early on. And when I did that, I just knew there was something unique and different about this. And I used my filtering of executive coaching and consulting, and right away, SafeMoon stood out amongst everyone. And that being said, I just want to thank you, first of all, before I ask my question, for your inspiration in my life. You have really helped me, SafeMoon and you have become a North Star in my life. And that's not an exaggeration. At a time of burning out and trying to figure out at age 49 what's next, it really turned my life around, even to the point my daughter's like, seriously, Dad, more SafeMoon? And I'm like, anybody I can talk to about SafeMoon, I do. And so with that being said, just two questions. What are the absolute critical strategic performance drivers that are going to set SafeMoon apart from all the other coins, in your opinion, in the next 3 to 5 years, that are going to put us in front of the pack?
Okay, that's a really good one. So I'd have to say, kind of in line with what I was saying before, that I saw that SafeMoon could be the ABC of tokens, right? Of DeFi. It's services tech. One of the drivers behind lots and lots and lots of projects currently is project management. I'd be looking at Ryan right now. Ryan's going to be your guy. He is that funnel that's the global head of product. He's managing the project managers for the sub teams. Right? He ensures that QA went through to the best of what the community wants and what Dave was saying earlier. Like, just that. Product management is it. So, one of the growth. Central point of growth. But central point of success. Same time.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had to think about it for a second.
That's so good. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Hey, and last question, kind of, talking about SafeMoon, but really with you, what are the big, crazy, and scary questions you're personally asking yourself that can actually transform SafeMoon, but especially the crypto space in the next 3 to 5 years? The questions that we're not asking that will make our heads spin.
Do you want me to fuck you up right now?
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I ask.
What does everyone want that no one has? That's the question. What does everyone want that nobody has? It's the first question I ask in any education meeting about any kind of topic between subsets of the things that we work on. What's everyone want that nobody has? All the way from top level through marketing, actually coding this thing and mental exercise that I put myself through. So, is there a question that nobody's asking? Is there a 1,000 million, an infinite amount of answers to this? I think so.
That's so good, dude. Well, hey, seriously, I just, again, can't say enough how much I appreciate your contribution. And I know that you're going to be around. And again, I just see all the people in here. The SafeMoon community has been instrumental in my transformation. I mean, just seeing RJ Ardonis, SafeMoon Joe, you, SafeMoon Tim, all these guys have been absolutely my go-to. So everybody on here, thank you so much. And I wish you a very happy Thanksgiving.
Awesome. To you too.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Jared. Tech, I saw you put a hand up. I guess you have another nerd question.
I got a somewhat nerd question because I gotta steal one. I gotta steal one from. I steal one from Elon Musk on that irony loves space because
What?
like in the BSC space,
isn't it Philo's irony?
Loves irony, however it goes.
All right.
SafeMoon brought me over to the BSC side of the house. I'll be honest. I'm strictly a Bitcoin Ethereum guy, but SafeMoon onboarded me and it brought me into shitcoin land. Honestly, and then I've created this project, and it's like I remember looking at the SafeMoon page. This was before the SafeMoon boom at the height of it, and I'm like, wow, this Papa guy, interesting character. He's the only one that's like very cryptic in his appearance, right? And I'm up here on the stage with you right now, so I lead X Mooney token, bro. And what we do is it's all about decentralized mining. Ethereum. We've built up an Ethereum pool with miners across the world. We got into Bitcoin mining. So I mean, like right now, you have to understand, like my community right now is all up in my ass right now about what you just said. So is this no? Listen, at the end of the day, anything that works in DeFi is going to be replicated. That's just the reality of the game.
Okay. Yeah.
Is this something that SafeMoon is going to be doing, or is this a new project that Papa is going to be leading?
Not something that SafeMoon is doing. SafeMoon has always been staunchly against mining, rightfully so, because when we came up, like people were not thinking about eco-friendly mining. I'm talking about mining with carbon neutral mining. I wouldn't fuck around. But anyway, to answer your question, no, it's not a SafeMoon thing.
I appreciate that. Listen, at the end of the day, much success to you on your journey. We'll be competing against each other to see who has the highest hash rate. That's a good problem, and keeping it green.
Very much good luck.
I brought up with Jacob. What's going on, man?
Hi, how you guys doing? Listen, I'm just to let you know, I'm 50 years old. I'm an ex 20-year in-law guy. I also have worked in coding in the past, and I get what Thomas is doing, and I know there's a lot of things that he can't talk about. And just so you are aware, I do have a lot of respect for all of you guys, especially this
this open forum to talk to him and to basically give good information out there. And people do need to do their research when they're buying these cryptos these days, because a lot of them, they get in and they don't do the research. Like Squid, Dogecoin, in my opinion, is probably like one of the, in my opinion, it just doesn't have any value to it. I know a lot of people talk about NFTs. NFTs are great, if you're into that thing. Just real quick, and I'm just trying to throw some things out there to make this quick, because I know you guys have a lot of people listening. And my goal here is to be one of those inspirers. I want to inspire people. I want Thomas to inspire people. I think he has already done that. He's shown his time in SafeMoon and in previous projects and whatnot. My thing is, people don't realize how important smart money is going to be, smart digital money. The banking industry hated it. They got involved in it. Where do you think all the money went? When it went out of the banks, it went into crypto. All that money they couldn't borrow on. The banks are getting in heavily now. Crypto.com has even, and I'm not trying to plug any one crypto, but Crypto CRO, where are they going? You guys have to look at the bigger picture and what is going to happen in this environment over the next decade. And I think Thomas and the people who are building these blockchains and these exchanges and swapping and pools and all that stuff is going to make a big change in digital money. And people don't see it, except for people who are I guess getting into it, and they're like trying to learn and bring this into their brain and understand what the difference is between paper and digital. And just real quick, the question is, how do you see digital money, smart money, whatever you want to call it, blockchain money, whatever it is? Thomas, this is your question. How do you see that in the next decade? Do you think it's going to replace all paper money? Because I really see that in my life, even in my life for my kids. You know what I mean? In the end, I don't think anyone's going to replace the barter system. It's about value. It's not about the paper that we trade, right? So every dollar is backed by the full face and whatever the U.S. government, right? U.S. dollar, for example, and the biggest argument I get back is because they have the guns. Yeah, that's true. Right. So and that's so crazy to me. It's like, okay, Yeah. so the barrel of oil that is valued $0 many months ago, is intrinsically more valuable than the dollar that I have. But how is it that you can obtain multiple barrels per dollar at a certain point in oil's history? It's insane. Right. Yeah, no, it's a very good point, because people don't realize that the value of in my opinion, the paper. Everybody has talked about this in many AMAs, and I've seen a lot of them. They say the dollar's really, it's just paper. It's made up. It's not real. It's just something to trade. That's all it is. Right. And I think the scope that I see that you guys have come into, you have the people who are creating cryptos, they are making the new wave of digital money. And I think even though there's nothing, it's not like gold or silver where you have a physical asset in your hand. What I think the bigger picture that I'm seeing is the value becomes whatever it's made in the scope of SafeMoon, for instance. And even though it's 0.00000, 3 or 4, whatever it is right at the moment, my point is, as that value increases, its value goes up. As you guys, have a burn rate, someone buys, a certain percentage gets burned and a certain percentage goes back to the shareholders. In my opinion, that's excellent. A lot of the other coins like Dogecoin and Bitcoin, they don't have a burn rate. So their value is based on how much people put into it. So the value is going to be whatever it is. Bitcoin, of course, is like saying to me, Dow. I go to Ethereum, I look at that. It looks like NASDAQ. Then you look at XRP, for instance, and it's, they got caught, they got in trouble, they're paying for it. But in the end, are they going to come out ahead and on top of? And people have to look at that and I mean, see just those on things. XRP, despite my reservations against them, I wouldn't say, oh, they got caught. You know, they're paying for it.
Right.
You know.
Right. Well, you know what I mean. They
what
got in
were gonna
trouble.
do.
Let's just put it that way.
It's like there was no guidance as to whether what they were doing was right or wrong.
Well, right. And the regulations, you were talking about that earlier. You know, the panel, you guys were saying, yeah, they need to make more eco-friendly regulations. That's how do you do that when it's a brand new industry? It's barely hit the surface. Money's been around for thousands of years, but digital currencies have not. So it's a new thing. So they have to figure all this out. And how do you figure that out? You either listen, who wants to have a rug pull and lose $10,000 or $5,000? No one.
Nobody.
So that's why you put regulations in. And I get that. I've worked in that field. I know a lot about what you're talking about. And there's, you know, security things that you can't talk about, you know, especially when you sign NDAs and whatnot. People don't realize how important there's things that you can't talk about ever because
I'd
you
love
sign.
to be transparent about everything.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah. No, I know. And then they get in trouble, just like, you know, like the Snowdens, you know, when they bail. You can't do that. You have to be able to, you know, get past all that and then do it in the future. But my point is, like I said, I think the question is, what do you think in terms of smart money in the future? Do you think that that's going to be the wave of a cashless society in general in the United States and abroad?
It would have to be, right? This is programmable money. I think I ranted a little bit about this at my last major thing with David. Where
I got you.
yeah. So
fuck fiat.
With programmable money, you can give it mechanics. This is a direct upgrade on paper. And the people who had tablets talk shit about, like, and we have tablets that we're talking shit about the movement of paper.
Yeah.
So we have videos of people now talking shit about the progression to the internet. It's all over the internet.
Yeah.
Al Gore invented it, and it's a series of tubes, right?
Yep.
That's what they tell us. Abe Lincoln said, "Believe everything you read on the internet."
Yeah, I think that's the premise behind all of this, but you know, and it's just getting started in the United States in terms of using like Bitcoin and Ethereum and let's see, what's the other one? Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin, especially like on PayPal. You can use that as currency now on certain transactions. Not all transactions, but it's getting there. It's going to take time to get to the level, you know, that everybody's expecting in the next 2 to 5 years. And that's our growth time. It's like the dot-com boom that started with Bitcoin. Even though Bitcoin was the only one, really, now there's a bunch of them. Now there's everything from altcoins to meme coins to whatever. But when they filter out and you have all the top 10 or whatever, and they've all, you know, like you explained earlier about exchanging and swapping, that's going to be huge because people are going to be like, hey, I can swap my Bitcoin for this. And it's going to be faster for people and more expensive instead of paying transaction fees for everything. You know what I mean? Even though it's smaller, it's not like 10%. So you're going to save money. And that's where I see this going. But anyways, again, listen, I wanted to say thank you. But I also just wanted to get that question out there because people aren't asking that one. They're not bringing that up, and people don't realize that it's going to change. It's going to change everything. So.
Yes.
And thank you, David, co-host, everybody else for letting me talk. I know there's probably some other questions that are going to be more important than mine, but I wanted to ask that because I thought that would be a very good question initially, so people understand, especially all the SafeMoon Army, you know, because everybody on here is listening. I'm listening too, just like you guys are. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jacob. We appreciate you, man. Thomas, how many more would you like to do? It's entirely up to you, man. You're the vocal point.
Just a few more. I mean, it's getting late.
We'll say 3. We'll cap it off at 3.
Yeah, let's do 3 more.
Okay, perfect. I'll bring up 3 more people. Guys, thank you for your patience. It's definitely appreciated.
This was a full-out marathon, though. This was crazy, Thomas. I mean, I got to give it to you, brother. You've been doing it.
What's up, Sha?
Hey, how y'all doing? Can you hear me?
You're good, man. What's going on?
Just first, I want to say thank you for bringing me up because I'm not gonna lie, I'll expose myself. I was harassing him to pull me up. um, I got kind of two questions. They're kind of not at you personally, like towards your personal stuff, towards SafeMoon or anything like that. One of them is something I've been kind of wanting to ask you for a while. Um, and I guess we could say the old world, however you want to however you want to phrase it. You got since like with NFTs and logos and companies and everything, we're talking about the DeFi space. In the old world, you have things like trademarks, copyrights, all these type of things. I don't know how many people have ever heard of, but there's things also called poor man's copyright. Um, some of it as simple as, taking a document, sending it through the postal mail, completely sealed and all that. So it's, federally stamped to put a date on it. In that theory of poor man's copyright, or even, any version of that, with the way the NFTs and, people's art, people's designs, music, and all this different stuff that's coming out, and not knowing, personally how people are doing, what they're doing to basically, in the same token, I guess you could say, cover their creativity. Is the blockchain, or, how do you feel, or is there a kind of something that's already in play as a hidden line to where the blockchain in our new world can kind of work as a copyright or a poor man's copyright to help protect, as far as the timestamp of who actually created it, if it came down to a court argument, so to speak? Of course, definitely. Right. So if you look at the recording industry itself, you have a lot of files being shared around. I've got a little insight into the recording industry. Thank you. So you have a lot of files being shared around, and there's that ambiguity behind who made the file, who made the speech, what was going on with this certain information. With the blockchain completely immutable. So you have to declare these things within your NFTs, like the ownership thing and everything else. And this is already being done. A lot of people are using IPFS. I'm really excited for whatever comes next. Like I like BitTorrent distribution files, like those systems, in that the strength of the speed with which you retain your data is dependent solely on the interest of the users hosting it, right? And in that way, it creates this whole game, this game theory where the importance or the availability of something, incentivizes the developers to create something that's worth hosting, right? Which is somewhat more of an incentive and also like a direct attribution to the person that created it. It almost shatters the whole like copyright licensing system, because the ownership is by design.
Yeah, that's kind of why I asked it, was that theory.
Yeah, I think that's really great. And it's the same for games and movies and all kinds of things. Licensing for content. Really depends on how you want to play your storage.
Gotcha. And my second question, it's kind of a thing that's, I don't know how in the mainstream, the rumors, the information, how it would go, I guess, if unless you're in reading the back tech and all that, then I don't know how how well a person can say 100% no. But there's ideas and talks of Web 2. We're all looking at Web 3 and what that's going to be, and how we're dancing on it now. But there's back talks of Web 2 having like a however you want to word it, a corrosion effect in the data, and basically kind of what it does, like the way that it's designed and kind of looping around itself, if you will. I'm not a big tech head, so I might be using the wrong terms, but that it's kind of causing it, basically in short term, it's kind of causing itself to collapse, or at some point in time it can be a major issue with Web 2. What is your thoughts on that, if you've heard of that, and if you have, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's sort of had a bunch over the years. So there was a courthouse, and I can't remember where. I'm sure someone will tweet this, like the actual location of it. But there was a courthouse that stored case data on USB flash sticks. And those flash sticks are susceptible to binary degradation over time. And there was a leak also. So not only were these things aged, but there was a water damage, right? With a blockchain, you have immediate offsite storage of data. Instead of having to do this physically, it's immediate. If you have other nodes that will support this thing, it's all situation. But the problem with centralized systems, and in a lot of cases, people will say, if you have users, why don't you just use a database? What I would suggest is, like, if you need immutable data storage, you need it to persist, blockchain is good for you. And it may not even need to be a blockchain. Like, internally, it could be a DAG. GitHub is a DAG. IOTA is a DAG. So neat stuff like that. So with regard to centralized systems have centralized problems. They are the central point of failure. It's where things go wrong. So if you mitigate that by having multiple peers that share the same data, you don't have a centralized point of failure. And also, if they're double checking each other's work, you have immutable data. If you have enough peers, it becomes prohibitively expensive to attack that. The more peers you have, it could scale to the point where you have more money and more resources being spent to attack this than exist on Earth, which is what makes these networks so secure in the first place.
Gotcha. All right, well, I appreciate it. I appreciate being called up, everybody. The work you guys are doing. Thomas, I was I was out there going off on people today. I'm not even gonna lie. I mean, the one of the problems I think with a lot of the, whatever you want to call it, the FUD, the hate, the whatever, is, a lot of people, and I think David had mentioned something very similar to this earlier, is you got a lot of people in this, got their money in this, that don't know as much as they should, and think that they have more whatever than they do. And, so when things happen, kind of like with all the stuff that's, been going on with SafeMoon and other projects, a lot of people don't realize, if you look back at some of these major corporations now, if you were the fly on the wall when they started, how many people are still there? How did all the, and people that took over, and for the reasons, that's just how companies are built. That's how things are built. That's progress, and it always seems like, people put people up on a pedestal when they're helping them, but whenever those people that you got up on a pedestal, when they launch and succeed on their own, for themselves, and they're successful in the thing that you've been, which is funny to me, the thing you've been boosting them and pushing them to be successful about, when that pays off for them, then you hate them and want to crucify them. I don't understand that. And I see that a lot all over the DeFi space. But
yeah, actually, this brings up an interesting thing, because I know we're going to wrap up soon. I want to address this. Give a guy $100,000 out of my own money that I was paid from SafeMoon, right? Internet went furious. They're like, blah, he fucking stole money, right? Couldn't tell you I got paid. Now, this dude went and flipped out. This whole group of people flipped out, not knowing that John paid me. I paid him out of my back pocket, and this dude hacked a friend of mine's. Like, this is so, the whole space, right? I love it, right? But there's one tiny part of it. This dude, he hacked my friend's project, tried to frame me last night. This is one of my tweets where I was like, this is despicable, right? despicable behavior needs to end. Because when a dude named Cruelty, we know his name, we have all his accounts, does something like that, you know, it sets us all behind.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I think I probably shifted that in a weird direction. It's just on the back. It's been bothering.
But yeah, but man, I wish you luck, and I'm gonna be here for the ride. You're gonna see my name in and out of some things, but you know, we all rise together. That's one thing I always say, man. We all rise together. Much love. I appreciate it. Everybody have a good night. Everybody be safe out there.
Thanks, Sean. We appreciate you, man. Next we got Fab, and then after Fab, we'll bring up one more person, and then we gotta, close up shop. Unfortunately, Thomas is definitely getting tired. What's going on, Fab?
Hello, can you guys hear me?
You're good, man.
What's going on, guys? Thank you for having me. Hey, Papa, I have a question. So, you put out a message on Discord that once you get to 100K, you're gonna drop a video for the community. Is that still gonna happen? Yeah, it is. It definitely is. I have some announcements to make. I mean, day to day, it's there are things that I want to add to this. So, yeah, I've got a video. So here's the thing about it: I don't have it prepared before the 100K happens. So I'm going to start making that video as soon as it happens. That's awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it. That you're gonna make that video. And then my next question is, are you gonna be featured on a song with Lou the writer? Yeah, it's already happened. He did a teaser.
That's awesome. I'm sure we can't wait to hear that. That song. It's gonna be good. All right, well that's pretty much it. Thank you guys, and almost more than 3 hours on on this space. Thank you for what you did for the community, Papa. I know you're gonna be around. Thank you for having me, and best of luck.
Thanks, Fab. Appreciate you, man. We bring up one more person, and then Thomas has got to run, and we're gonna close up shop. Dave, you want to pick it? Being the birthday boy in 2 hours. I know you hate that, but it is what it is.
Let's see, because a lot of the people I don't see in here, man. So let's see who I see in here. All right. Okay. See a female, a woman. Excuse me. We say female in New York, so don't get offended.
I think that's a global thing. I'm just
No, because when you say it's like, oh, I'm not going to get into it.
Yeah, we're not doing it.
Anything I say will and can be held against me. So, Amber, what's going on?
Hey guys, how are you?
Good. Hello.
I haven't spoken to a bunch of you in quite a long time. So here's my thing. So I am building out something that's specially for crypto NFT blockchain. And I had the privilege to speak to the CEO of a couple of the different wallets, and they're super interested in the platform. So my question is if you had a place to go where it was just solely focused on your NFTs, almost as an online art gallery, where you could go ahead and bid and show off what you're doing, and it would all be in one space, would that be something that would interest you?
I mean, fundamentally, yes. But what I have right now is inside my address that I posted on Twitter, the OpenSea that's there. I'm not trying to put it out there too much, but that's a gallery of things that have been given to me. I don't use NFTs in a financial context, so I'm not interested in buying and selling them.
So there wouldn't be any buying or selling on my platform, because I don't want to get into that. I don't want to have to deal with the transactional part or the legalities of it. it would be like, here's this as we have a conversation on NFTs, or as you're hosting, teaching people on NFTs, but they would have to come in and pay for a master class, because there are thousands and thousands of people, to be honest, that can't even spell NFT and have no idea what it is, but really, really want to know what it is. And so there's people that are paying for master. So it's in beta. So people are actually wanting to pay for the master classes. So that's another part of it. So would that also be something that would interest anybody in this?
I'd be apprehensive to say yes, definitively.
Yeah.
But,
Sorry, Thomas. I'm gonna say that I didn't go ahead and put it down, but we're having we're having a different space here, man. So,
Thomas, would you want to give me $100 for my idea, bro?
Take that shit down from up top.
I got an idea, bro. $100, bro.
This is not to put down the idea there, I guess. But David's right. This is not the right place for that.
Dave, one last person. Make this one count, man. I like the last one.
I can't stand when they come up here shilling shit.
What a horrible pick.
Just so you guys know, Dom does do a shilling space once or twice a week when he doesn't fall asleep on the phone, but he does do them. So there's definitely time and place for that.
Right.
Just an FYI.
I'm just saying, we could disrupt Dragon's Den, you and me, David. Let's get a panel and have a space.
Thomas, you should come to one of those shilling events. I think you like it.
We need to make we got to get Thomas on the panel to vote on the projects, and hear what he has to say.
This could be a TV show.
You know what, Andrew? Just pick it. Just
Thomas,
pick
David's
it.
got.
Go ahead, just pick it, man. Because I can't see
Are you
shit.
sure?
It's I only see
Yeah, I'm gonna pick another woman, female, before I get killed. Here, we'll do this one. The money mom.
I'm over here left. I can't believe she really slid in here so smooth.
Hey guys.
Hey, money mom.
Hey, how's it going? So I just
good. I'm glad you're a woman.
I'm glad I'm a woman as well. And a mom. And thanks for letting me up. It's a lot of people in here. I appreciate that. And so I just wanted to comment on ownership and copywriting, and people kind of afraid of that. I know that with ownership of what happened. Anyways, I know that with ownership of NFTs and digital assets, when you basically when you mint them, that's kind of a way to copyright them in a sense, because it's going on the ledger and it can't be tampered with or anything like that. And then you creating the thing initially is you create an intellectual property and then thus turn into a digital asset. So I just wanted to add that I kind of came in on the end of it, but that's my understanding of it.
Okay, so I mean, in the United States,
appreciate your thoughts tonight. Sorry, Thomas. I'm gonna bring up one more person from the SafeMoon community for you, because
you lagged out.
Yeah,
one of you guys lagged out.
I don't know what's happening tonight. Let's see. Let's pick.
They see Tom and think it's a shill space.
Oh my god!
Fuck, I'm gonna be known as the shill.
I'm confused.
Okay, hold on. No, Tom, I'm sorry, man.
Thomas, Dom does a shill space every week, and people see his name and they affiliate it with shilling spaces, so they're coming up here to shill.
Oh, okay. SafeMoon or Cryptic King. That's all I see right now. I'm blind here in Twitter Spaces.
Yeah, I'm here.
What's going on?
Thanks so much for letting me talk. Hey, I'm doing good leading up to Thanksgiving, so can't complain too much. But hey, I just wanted to say, first off, Thomas, you've been a personal inspiration to me. I got into coding and programming and whatever a long while back, a few years ago. Excuse me. And since I started becoming part of the SafeMoon community, and learning more about you and your backstory and getting into that kind of thing kind of reinvigorated that fire in me to start pursuing that again. But relating to that, and I know that it's a little off topic from where the conversation was going, I was wondering if you or really anybody else here had any suggestions for how to get into Solidity programming or anything relating to blockchain and how to really start.
Okay. So what I usually tell people is not what they want to hear. You have to do it the hard way. There's documentation for every single one of these pieces of the stack that you know about. So I would start with looking at the docs for those pieces of the stack. There's a getting started section, and that will be far more valuable to you than any Udemy course. Just take it seriously, right? When it comes down to like learning programming languages, the reason why I have so many is it's all methodology, right? Like I'm better with some than I am with others, but I've made projects and all of these things that people have discovered because I just write snippets of code. When I'm going through the documentation, I'll write snippets of code for myself so that I can understand what's happening. And then when I'm done, I'll try to find a way to do a tiny project that I don't release. It's just something for me so I can understand what's going on. I'll do that with anything, right? It's just a way to become, like, I call myself an autodidact, right? It's a person who can learn things for themselves. Learning how to learn is one of the most important things you'll ever do. It's how you can learn how to not need a college or a high school or really anyone to tell you how to learn something, because all of the world's information is available to you right now. If you're here in the spaces, you've got a phone, you can make a Google, right? So where to start? In the getting started, the 1.1 of any docs. It's the most important place and a good start. And then just do it. Commit yourself to it because it's for you, right? It's not for making money. It's not for lifting up other people. It's a very selfish endeavor. But you do it for you so that you can lift up other people. And that's the most important thing. So I hope that helps.
Yeah, no, that makes total sense. Thanks so much for having me up here and answering my question, but really appreciate you and all that you do.
Thank you.
Well, the love was spread for the last 3.5 hours, probably. And
oh, wow.
Yeah, we went long, I think. Wait, hold on. 4 hours, right? 6, no. Actually, almost coming on to
Dave, didn't we start
6:30.
at
Yeah.
6:30?
Whoa, that was time. Okay. It's been a while.
Again, I'm going to repeat it. I appreciate that you came on here to go ahead and do the one-on-one interview since leaving SafeMoon. You really didn't leave, but you left. But, they need your help, obviously. Cliff notes, Thomas will be there to help. Am I right on that, Thomas? I didn't get that wrong, right? Somebody needed your...
Yeah.
But,
confirmed. I'm here.
Most of the questions came from the community. And most of the community got to come up here and, ask Thomas a question. So I think it was super productive. Thomas, obviously I think you're super skilled, and listen, you're an asset to any protocol you go to. So I just wish you good luck and good health. The biggest one is good health. You devs work so long and so many hours that mentally, I know it's tiring. So, but I wish you good health, man. You're a good guy. I get to talk to you away from these spaces, and that's all I get. The vibe is real chill. So I appreciate you.
Thanks, dude.
Yo, Papa, I appreciate you too, man. Give me a follow. I'll help you out someday or something like that. You just helped X Mooney, bro.
Thirsty ass.
Listen,
Thirsty
he just
ass.
pumped Mooney for you right
Fanboy.
now, bro.
Thirsty ass.
Fanboy.
Thirsty
Hey,
ass.
I did it though.
Yo, you definitely did that. I appreciate that, brother. Listen, good luck on your journey. You got a lot going for you. You're a crypto star. That's the reality of it. People flock wherever you're gonna go. But let's chop it up one day. You can hit me up, bro. We talk it out.
Okay, yeah, I'm
I
down.
think Thomas, somebody like you can't be stuck to one project. You know, like that. As I was sitting back and thinking about it and hearing everybody come up here, I think you just can't be stuck to one project. You have to be everywhere in this space. So good for you, man. Good for you. Good people build those kind of
Thanks,
reputations.
bro.
You want to end it, Andrew, with your music?
Dave, this
No,
is your
you.
show
I
tonight.
mean,
It's your
I'm
show
not
tonight, man.
controlling G Media or anything like that, so you can go ahead and put on. Thomas, you got a favorite song? Put on Sinatra for him,
Okay,
I guess.
that works.
Laptop's
I
downstairs.
did it my way.
Dave,
that
Dom,
was
can you
the
sing it?
song.
My
That was the
laptop's
song. I
downstairs.
did it my way. Somebody put on.
Yeah, you got to answer, or you can't afford Spotify. Which one is it?
I can't afford Spotify.
Well, Thomas
Dave doesn't
did
pay me up. Free.
it his way, so we appreciate that, and hopefully, Thomas, I can get you on the podcast for G Media, and we can go ahead and just talk for an hour about just random stuff about crypto, blockchain, and just lifestyle.
Hey, yeah, that sounds awesome. I mean, I have a bad habit of keeping that. I'll keep going until other people. Yeah, until it gets weird.
I'm with you. I have the same habit. But
Yep. Let's
Thomas, is
go.
there
Let's do
anything
it.
you'd like to say to the public before I play my Sinatra or before Dom sings it? One of the
Okay.
two, whichever happened first.
All right. Is there anything I'd like to say to the public? I'm glad to be part of the community for the first time. You know, when I joined, I was already in this position of authority, right? Now that I don't have it, I'm with you guys. And I can share ideas, and I'm very much looking forward to that. And I hope that you guys learn more too, and you share your ideas with others. If we're going to be in this for anything, I think that it should be for adoption. You know, Andreas is right. Just Andreas is right. Adoption is the key to everything that we do. So, anyway, that's it.
hold on, one more cat. One more cat wants to come. This guy, they started a room that, I was a really bad boy tonight. Let me just bring this guy, one guy up, Thomas. I'm sorry. I know it's making you face.
What are you in timeout, Dave?
No.
Hey,
They
I've been having my hand up for like 2 hours.
They started a whole room about me, like 90 deep, bro. So go ahead.
You guys was birthday
Were they
tomorrow, right? You
crying
guys
or
be nice,
what?
please.
They were saying that I was asking mean questions, but like I was asking, all the questions I was asking were from the community. I don't know, like you can't win. You just can't win, but it's okay.
Man, I'm so excited. Listen, my last name is Zerker. It starts with ZU, so I'm always last. I'm used to it. Thomas, I won't keep you, man. Listen, SafeMoon is the first crypto I ever invested in. I continue to invest in it. I just had one quick question, and I think I kind of want to take a note on this because I know you're the mastermind behind it. When you said 3,000 transactions per second, or maybe it was simultaneous, I won't even go. I don't want you to go into detail, but I want to ask you this: where would you rate it in terms of if everything gets the I's get dotted and the T's get crossed? Where would you put if everything goes as planned? Is this going to be like? Are you hopeful that this is one of the best blockchains out there? I mean,
Okay, so I hate to break it to you. This is something that I also addressed at least a dozen times, but I'll do it again because it makes a lot of sense. So when I brought up 3,000 transactions, I said simultaneous, right? But it was 3,000 simultaneous transactions on an exchange, not the blockchain.
Okay, that makes sense. And are you still now that you're a community member for us community members? Do you still see us happy as fuck in the next 2 to 3 years?
Yep. Actually, just as I was saying before, if you don't work every single day, if every single one of your moves is not a winning move, it's a losing one, right? In 5 years, if you hadn't had enough winning moves by dodging losing moves, you're not going to be happy as fuck. but in 5 years, you'll be proud of your progress, no matter what you've done.